live in 3.
Okay, live in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the stream on here. I'll get this started. Yep, there we go. Okay. Okay, we are.
Might as well get that pre-roll going.
Everybody's streaming through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turn this on. Yours is number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Test, check.
Yep.
Check the levels that are displaying, because the last game I was
Yeah. I mean, are you ready to go live now? Cool.
just let that pre-roll go for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. You want to do the pre-roll, pre-game film?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On a scale from 1 to 10 that feels like Atlanta, we are finally ready to bring you baseball from Jamestown, New York, and historic Russell E. Diethrick Park. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarp Skunks Baseball. I'm Dre Guinness alongside Matty G. Starting a little bit late today as we had a mini hurricane of sorts blowing through here. Skunks were able to get the tarp onto the field about 10 minutes before we had a torrential downpour and winds whipping up to about 45, 50 miles an hour. And just like that, it's gone. So tarp off the field. Field has been blow dried, and we are just getting set to go here as the Newark Pilots come in to take on the Tarp Skunks. Pilots coming in at 8-14, 9.5 games back. In their last 10, they are 5-5. They last lost to Geneva. Tarp Skunks are 9-10, 7.5 games back. They're 5-5 in their last 10. And the last game they played in an exhibition, a 12-6 win versus Buffalo.
And to be quite honest, that game against Buffalo was one of my personal favorites that I ever got to call. It was an amazing game. Like, everyone was having a ton of fun. Because it was exhibition, there wasn't as much pressure on it, so everyone was just smiling, having a good time, and doing what they do best and playing fun Tarp Skunks baseball. The crowd was into it. Dre and I were into it. That is that is on our channel if you want to take a look at that after this game is all said and done. So take a look at that and join the fun that we got to have that day. But right now, our focus has got to be the Newark Pilots. We're back into league play. We're halfway through the season. And Ryan Hill claims that this is going to be this is a good scenario that the Tarp Skunks are in to build and gain ground.
Yeah, a couple of notes here to get to before we get into all that. Ben Escobar is done for the season. Issue with his pitching arm. We found out that he has already had Tommy John surgery, and he's only 18 years old. So he flew back to Cali, and his season's done. Julian Sauger still has not resumed baseball activity. That oblique injury, slower than expected healing. And Nigel Sebastianelli tonight, he will have the night off. He fouled the ball off of his ankle earlier today, just resting it out of precaution. He will play tomorrow. But you mentioned, talk to Ryan Hill. He feels that right now the Tarp Skunks are in a good position. Their morale is high. The chemistry is good. The team feeling good after Monday. Today starting the second half of the season. And this is a real solid opportunity for Jamestown to pick up ground in the standings, as they are playing mostly teams that this season they have had historical success against. 2 against Newark tonight and tomorrow at Newark. 2 against Niagara Falls, 3 against Elmira, who the Tarp Skunks are chasing for that third spot. 1 with Batavia, 1 with Auburn. So there are opportunities for the Tarp Skunks to catch up here.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to see what Ryan Hill is going to bring to the table. Obviously, like we said, we're halfway through. This is the point that you start to look at the playoff standings, where you're sitting. You're currently in 4th. You're 9-11. Your goal right now is to bring yourself back to that 500 mark and beyond, so that way you can start chasing down 3rd place, 2nd place. The better your seeding, the better off you're going to be, especially once we get towards playoff time.
One concern that we do have tonight is the rain may come back. 50% chance all the way through 10 o'clock tonight, including the possibility of thunderstorms. So we will keep our eye on the clouds as well as the game and let you know if a threat is developing upon the horizon. But let's take a look at what is going to happen on the field with the starting lineups. Matty?
Yes, sir. We'll take a look at starting with Newark and the Pilots starting lineup. Batting first, playing second base will be Dominic Zinna. Batting second, playing left field, Grant Russo. Batting third, the designated hitter, Mason Haar. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Ray Toth. The fifth hitter will be Keenan McGraw in center field. Bryce Knox will play right field and bat sixth. Jack Steed will play shortstop and bat seventh. Chris Ferreira will play first and bat eighth. Batting ninth will be Joey Naraki and being behind the dish tonight. And then the 10th hitter will be the extra hitter, Grant Hunter. Looking at the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and their lineup for tonight. Batting first, the shortstop, Eli Harpelani. Leo Doyle will bat second and play center field. Tommy Schroeder will bat third and play third. Batting fourth will be the big Bobby Stang at first base. The fifth hitter will be Kobe Jones in left. Number 6, Shaniel Maldonado, the extra hitter tonight. Batting seventh, DJ Stoyanovich, who will have a very interesting time out in right field tonight, considering the way that the tarp was pulled off the field. Most of the water was pulled in right field's direction. We'll see how Stoyanovich does tonight. Batting eighth, the Henry Juwan, who will be behind the dish. Batting ninth will be Aiden Wallace, the designated hitter. And batting 10th, playing second base, will be Brandon McLean Banks. On the mound for the two teams, starting with the Newark Pilots, will be Jake Keenan. Jake Keenan coming in with a record of 2-1, 19 2/3 innings of work, 17 hits, 8 earned runs, 10 walks, 19 Ks, a 3.66 ERA. He will be taking on the Tarp Skunks starting pitcher Brady Wright, who will be on the mound tonight. 0-2 record coming into this game, 13 2/3 innings of work, 18 hits, 11 earned runs, 14 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 7.24 ERA. Those are the lineups for tonight. Both teams expected to play well and do some hard battle, but I'm excited to see what the team in black will come up with today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you had the couple innings on Monday night where they were just able to turn the lineup over. And I think that's kind of what they need to really do today. You need to strike first. You need to strike hard. No mercy, sir. Bust out a little bit of Karate Kid reference there for you. But it's coming down to crunch time. You want to get into the playoffs. You're tenuously holding on to that fourth spot right now. So every game, you can't call it a must-win, but you must go out there with the intention of winning. Not just every ball game, every inning, every pitch.
Absolutely. And the way that I see it, and the way that I'm looking at this team right now, yeah, absolutely. And if you're a baseball player, every game is a must-win. Like, don't stoop to a team's level. Obviously, you've had success against the Pilots in the past. I believe they had a mercy rule against them in the past, if my brain is recalling things correctly. But with that being said, just because you have that confidence against them, don't stoop to their level and play down to what you think they are, because that will cause mistakes, that will cause a morale break, and the next thing you know, you're sitting in a deficit that you can't come back from. So, as you said, strike early, strike fast. The Tarp Skunks have a tendency to be very, very successful when they are the team that draws first blood. So if that is the first goal that the Skunks should have tonight with the bats on offense, strike first, draw first blood, be the first team to cross the plate tonight.
And I think the other important thing from the pitching side is that Tarp Skunks have to start avoiding those big 4, 5, 6 run innings that they're getting. That comes down to pitching rotation. That comes down to manager decision. That comes down to performance on the mound. There's just a lot of things that go with it. But every time you guys, the pitchers go out there, they have to think attack, be aggressive, go after the strike zone, get the opposing hitters into a disadvantage count, such as a 1-2, a 2-2, then start throwing some waste pitches to try to get them to swing through it for the strikeout. But, essentially, don't pitch for the strikeout. Pitch to contact. Let you trust your defense and let them do the job behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of pitching, it comes down to confidence. A pitcher needs to have a presence on the mound. You are raised up higher than everybody else after all. And you've got some big, big pitchers, guys that are 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", 6'3". Like, just looking at the roster that they have some tall pitchers. They should be able to have that commanding presence, but whenever they have the 4, 5, 6 run innings that they give up, it almost seems like they just shrink smaller and smaller and smaller, and their presence just completely disappears. The pitching staff needs to have that presence tonight if they are going to want to have success, and that all starts with the confidence of Brady Wright tonight.
I think that the Batavia game at Batavia was a gigantic wake-up call for the pitching staff as far as walks go. Only one hit allowed the entire game, 13 walks in the ball game. As a pitcher, as a pitching staff, you cannot survive as a team when you're giving up free runs and free bases 60% of the game. So, attack the zone. Be selective with your pitches. You don't have to show your entire arsenal to the first hitter of the game. If the fastball's working, go to the fastball. If the curveball's working, go to the curveball. Conversely, if it's not working, take it out of your repertoire for the day, or at least for that inning, and then go back to your bread and butter and go with what works for you.
Absolutely. Every day is a new day when it comes to being on the mound. Everything is going to be different. The environment will be different. The heat will be different. The humidity will be different. Your confidence will be different. Your energy will be different. Everything's going to vary in some way, shape, or form. So a pitcher has to be willing to adapt so early on. Make those adaptations as soon as possible so that way you can, what we call, settle in on the mound so that way you can make it your mound in comparison to anything else.
Upcoming games for the Tarp Skunks after tonight, they are on the road to the Newark Pilots. They host Niagara Falls here on Friday night, $2 hot dog night. You're not going to want to miss that. These hot dogs are pretty darn good, so come on down and pick up 5 or 6. Elmira at Elmira on Saturday, and then back home for a double dip with Elmira on Sunday, 2 and 5:30 p.m. So those are what is coming up through Sunday.
Now, we also want to say that support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry Systems, the Davis Investment Group, and Prevention Works in Casa Trinity. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping to make this and every live stream of the 2024 season possible. We also encourage all businesses and organizations serving residents in Jamestown and Chautauqua County to consider becoming a Tarp Skunks live stream sponsor for this season or future season by calling us at 716-705-5600, emailing us at contact@tarpskunks.net, or using the contact form on our website, tarpskunks.com. All sponsors are recognized during each home game during our live stream broadcast by either Dre or myself, and also by our public address announcer on the field. Thank you to our current sponsors and also to anyone else considering becoming a future sponsor of Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball. We are almost set and ready to go. First pitch will be coming out, then the team will be announced. The national anthem will follow. We will step away for just a couple minutes to let the team get ready to take the field as we finally are ready to go here at Russell Lee Diethrick Jr. Park. It's Dre Guinness and Matty G on the Jamestown Tarp Skunks YouTube network. And we are getting ready to go here at Russell E. Diethrick Jr. Park. The national anthem has finished, and everyone has begun their warm-up. Taking a look one more time at the defense tonight for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is as follows. From left to right field is going to be Kobe Jones, Leo Doyle in the center, and DJ Stoyanovich on the right. From left to right in the infield, third base, Tommy Schroeder, shortstop, Brandon McLean Banks, second, Eli Harpalani, and first base, Bobby Stang. Behind the plate will be Henry Juwan, and on the mound, Brady Wright. We're all set and ready to go. It's going to be Dominic Zena, Grant Russo, and Mason Haar, the 1-2-3 hitters for the Newark Pilots. And as warm-ups are beginning to conclude, here to tell you about the beginning of the game, it's my man, Dre Guinness.
Thank you very much, Matty G, as we are set for baseball here in Jamestown, New York. On the mound for the Tarp Skunks, Brady Wright coming in with an 0-2 record, 7.24 ERA and 13.2 innings pitched, 18 hits, 11 earned run, 14 walk, 13 strikeouts on the season. He will take on the 1-2-3 hitters for the Newark Pilot, Zena, Russo, and Haar. As we are just waiting for the warm-up tosses to finish down on the field. Interesting schedule over the next 2 weeks. Newark today and tomorrow, Niagara Falls on Friday, Elmira Saturday and Sunday for a 3-game set, but at Batavia, and then Niagara Falls before an off day on the 10th. So busy week and a half for the Tarp Skunks. As Dominic Zena stands in, Brady Wright's first pitch. Taken right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. As this game gets on time under rain delay timeline. The 0-1 misses. 1-1. Zena coming into this game batting .256, 3 doubles, 6 RBIs on the season. Right-hander standing on the back of the line of the batter's box, and the 1-1, that just misses outside, 2-1. Talking to Coach Ryan Hill before the game and asked him how much Brady Wright was peacocking in the locker room after hitting a 2-run double back on Monday. And the word is he let everybody know about it as Zena cuts through that one, and it's 2-2.
Well, I mean, he absolutely should. A pitcher only who doesn't get to see the batter's box very often ripping a 2-run double down the line, that's something to hold your head up about.
And the 2-2 pitch got him. Zena caught looking for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Grant Russo.
Caught the 3 train on the way to Nopesville.
He's stealing my stuff before I even get a chance to get it out. I'm not telling you nothing anymore.
Nah, it's too easy.
As Grant Russo swing and a miss at the first pitch he sees, 0-1 the count. Left fielder batting .344 on the season, 2 doubles, 4 RBI.
Just wait a few innings. You can use it again.
I'll forget by then. And the pitch. That one fouled back, I think, into the visiting press box, but
Nope, back on the ground.
okay. I didn't hear a thump.
Hit net. Nothing but net, Dre. Nothing but net.
0-2 the count. Wright taking a long time. Time called at the plate. Little disagreement between Juan and Brady Wright as far as pitch selection there for a moment. And the 0-2. There's a line drive into left field that is going to fall in front of Jones for a base hit. So patience on an 0-2 count. Taking it the other way on a fastball on the outside. And that is going to bring up Mason Haar, the designated hitter, with a runner aboard.
Haar coming in with the highest batting average on the lineup card today. Coming into this game batting .345 on the season. He's got 2 doubles and 4 RBIs so far this season.
A singles hitter and the first pitch. That's Strike. Curveball right down the middle, so Brady Wright changing the scouting report slightly. Russo taking his lead off first. Wright comes set. The 0-1 missing on the outside for a ball 1-1. Ray Toth, the third baseman, would be next. Russo takes his lead at first and the pitch. That fastball missing on the outside for a ball 2-1 now. Doyle and Stoyanovich playing in a little bit in center and left. Jones a couple steps back and right as the 2-1 pitch misses for a ball 3-1. We'll see if snap throw gets away from Bobby Stang, rolling down the fence and making it all the way to third with a rough throw is Russo, as Tommy Schroeder had to play linebacker to go back to intercept that one.
Yeah, a bit of a rough spot for where that ball was placed after it got by Bobby Stang. It got put in basically Bermuda Triangle area just to the left of, or our right, the bullpen's left of the Newark Pilots bullpen, where it just took everybody so long to go over to get that ball. Stang with a heavy throw tried to get it over to third as fast as he could, but ultimately it just didn't do anything.
As the 3-1 hits the outside corner for a strike. 3-2 now. Wright charged an error on the pickoff attempt. And the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Second strikeout looking for Brady Wright. And that's going to bring up Ray Toth, the third baseman. Good location by Brady Wright. He's been living on that inside corner and getting it. As Toth steps in, the first pitch misses outside for a ball 1-0. Toth batting .265, 3 doubles, 3 RBI on the season. Brady Wright looking to get out of this mini jam here, and the pitch gets behind Henry Juan. Russo comes across to score. And Newark takes a 1-0 lead on the wild pitch.
And Brady Wright already showing signs of frustration, cursing to himself inside of his glove after the ball got by Henry Juan. So Brady mentally seems to be all over the place so far today, as he was also really fired up after that second called strikeout.
2-0 count, ground ball to third. Schroeder has it. Throws on to first, and Stang right there to get the third out. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. Side retired, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Newark 1, Tarp Skunks coming to bat.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry Systems in Jamestown. Plyler Entry Systems has been serving the area since 1967. They are a proud member of the Builders Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, the Manufacturer and Business Association, and the International Door Association. They offer a wide variety of products from a number of major manufacturers within the industry. When it comes to doors, they are the experts. Plyler Entry Systems is the proud sponsor of Whiffy, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks' official mascot. To learn more about Plyler Entry Systems, call 716-296-0595 or visit plylerentry.com. Taking a look once again at the Newark Pilots defense that will oppose the Tarp Skunks tonight. From left to right in the outfield, it's going to be Grant Russo, Keenan McGraw, and Bryce Knox. from left to right in the infield. Third base, Ray Toth. Shortstop, Jack Steed. Second base, Dominic Zena. And first base, Chris Ferreira. Behind the dish is going to be Joey Naraki. And on the mound for the Newark Pilots, Jake Keenan. Coming into this game, 2-1 record, 19 2/3 innings of work, 17 hits, 8 earned runs, 10 walks, 19 strikeouts. Coming in with an ERA of 3.66. He will be opposed by Eli Harpelani, Leo Doyle, and Tommy Schroeder, who are the top 3 for the Tarp Skunks lineup tonight. And here to tell you about the bottom of the first, a man that still has an even higher CRA than me, it's Dre Guinness.
As we head to the bottom of the first inning, Eli Harpelani stepping in, Leo Doyle and Tommy Schroeder will face Jake Keenan. 1, 2, 3 here. Tarp Skunks looking to, at minimum, even up the game after the wild pitch, scoring Russo. And Eli Harpelani steps in. Keenan's first pitch taken low for a ball, 1-0. For Harpelani, batting .216 on the season, 2 doubles, 3 RBI. And the pitch in the dirt for a ball. 2-0 the count. As Brady Wright's parents visit us in the booth, Harpelani hits a fly ball into left field. Going under it is Russo, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
A good piece of hitting there by Eli Harpelani to lead things off. I mean, a drive into left field, missing the warning track by about 10 feet. I mean, first hit, timing him up that well. It can't get much better than that. Eli Harpelani should keep confidence throughout the course of this game tonight if he has that first at-bat.
Yeah, flexing his muscles a little bit. I think that's the longest drive we've seen out of him so far this season. As Leo Doyle steps in, takes the first pitch for a strike. Doyle, batting .273 on the season, 3 doubles, 4 RBI. And the pitch, that misses on the outside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. So 1-2 to Doyle. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Doyle goes down on strike. Naraki throws down to Ferrer to complete the strikeout. 2-3, and that's 2 away. As Tommy Schroeder makes his way to the plate. Schroeder, the third baseman, batting .250, 3 doubles, 4 RBI on the season. And the first pitch, taken low for a ball, 1-0. Forgot to give Tommy my traditional thumbs up as he made his way to the plate. And the pitch, taken for a strike, 1-1. 1-1 pitch on the way, ground ball, foul.
And we're actually going to have an impromptu interview here. Dre, I'm going to step back as Mr. Wright, the father of the pitcher Brady Wright on the mound tonight, is here in the broadcast booth with us. We just kind of want to have a chance to talk to him a little bit about Brady Wright himself. So, Dre, you got the mic here.
All right. As the 1-2 pitch comes in, swinging, there's a loud foul down the left field line, but hooking. And it's still 1-2. Welcome to the broadcast booth, Mr. Wrights.
I appreciate it.
Pleasure to have you and your lovely wife here as well. Shake hands again. So is this the first time you've been able to see the Diethrick Park for the first time in person?
It is. We flew up this morning from Tampa and couldn't be more impressed. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Does the weather remind you of home?
Not at all.
Not at all? Because I lived in Atlanta for 10 years, and this feels like Atlanta to me in like late September.
You know, what's funny is the only part about the weather today that reminds me of home was the absolute torrential downpour we had a little bit ago that delayed the game.
Absolutely crazy.
Outside of that, not so much.
All
And
right.
the view is completely different because we don't have anything that raises above 5 feet in the state of Florida.
This is true, yes.
So this backdrop is absolutely amazing to watch on TV back home, and certainly enjoy listening to both of you guys every time we tune in to watch the Tarp Skunks every single game.
Thank you. I mean, we have a lot of fun calling these guys, and you know, for Brady, I think his greatest moment happened Monday in that game with Buffalo, as Tommy Schroeder takes a walk, and the Tarp Skunks get a 2-out walk for Bobby Stang. Did he call you after the double and say, did you see it? Were you watching?
So I don't want to rat him out here, but we definitely got a pre-advance notice that he was going to get an at-bat and play second base. And so we had turned off the game because we knew he wasn't throwing, and we were tuned in to watch the Rays play, our hometown team. And once we knew that there was a chance for him to get into the game, we turned it back on and got to watch it live as an entire family, the rest of the family, without Brady, obviously, and jumped up off the couch yelling and screaming. As soon as he worked it to a 2-2 count, I was like, man, he's going to get his pitch. And what's funny about that is that he has not had an official at-bat since his sophomore year of high school.
Oh, wow.
And so when he was still in travel ball, back then, before he became a official PO, he's actually a really good hitter. And when they took the bat out of his hands, it made him a PO. We always were like, man, I wish we get a chance to swing it every once in a while and seeing him get that chance and actually come through. All he said when he called me after the game was, you knew it was coming. And I said, oh, I had no doubt at all. So it was awesome to watch. Great moment for him. Couldn't be prouder.
Well, apparently he was lobbying Coach Ryan Hill down in the dugout, and as his selling point said that he had a grand slam in high school.
He did.
And once he told him that, he's like, okay, you got your shot. And
so first of all, I think Brady has lobbied every coach he's had since he was 15 years old to get an at-bat. And the fact that Ryan actually gave him the chance to get one was a great moment for him. And that one, the grand slam he's talking about, they do a fall inter-squad, what we call the World Series back at Eastlake High School. And so all the pitchers get a chance to play the field. Every coach, there's 4 coaches that each draft a team. And because there's only 10 kids on every one of the teams that they put together, everyone gets a chance to play the field, everyone gets a chance to bat. And he had a triple in that tournament.
Stang hits a high drive, left field, way back in. Russo makes the catch at the warning track. Bobby Stang missed a homer by about 10 feet. No runs, no hits, 1 error. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. There we go. I got the right columns now. As we go to the top of the second inning, 2-0 or 1-0 Pilots. I'm all over the place. It's
that's all right. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's an exciting night. It's a beautiful time for baseball.
So tell us about Brady growing up. How much, obviously all kids are going to have their good side and their bad side. How much did that balance out, or how was baseball his primary focus on everything and was a good kid?
The thing about Brady, he's been extremely thoughtful, as a dad. And I'm sure his mom, she would back this up if she was on mic as well. He's just a great kid. I don't know very many 9-year-olds that decide that they're going to make their better. And he's like, that's one of my favorite little anecdotes about him. He's always been that way. We never once in his life have ever asked, did you get your homework done? Are you studying for your tests? None of that has ever happened with him. My favorite story about him in his baseball life, and it's a bit of a negative in some ways, but at the same time, I think it's the moment in his life where he said, that's it. And he was told by his first high school baseball coach at a school, not the school he graduated from, so I want to be very clear on that. And we ended up changing schools because of this story I'm about to tell you. But he said he would never make a major public high school varsity baseball team in our county. And so he came to me on the back porch, the next day, and he said, do you think he's right? And I said, Brady, honestly, it doesn't matter if I think he's right. He thinks he's right. Do you think he's right? And he looked at me and said, what do I need to do? I said, you got to get stronger. You got to put the work in. And ever since that day, I don't think he's taken a day off in working and getting better. He's the hardest working kid I've ever coached. Easy.
Nice. Almost has that Marine Corps mentality.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because his grandfather on my wife's side, you know, my father-in-law is a Marine.
Oh, well, there you go. Runs in the family.
I would say it definitely does.
As Keenan McGraw stepping in for his first at-bat against Brady Wright. 2-0 the count. So Brady throwing a fastball here. What's his favorite pitch to throw? If you know, other than the fastball, is that one cut on and missed?
I think you just saw it. It's definitely a sinker. He's focused on that pitch for quite some time now, and really started working on adding velo over the last couple of years to get the four seam, something that, you know, the colleges would get interested in. And can't wait for him to get to Santa Fe in the fall and continue to show what he can do.
As Brady getting the DoorDash treatment by our home plate umpire, delivering it right to new baseball right to him. 2-1 the count. And, you know, one of the things about this league is I sit here and I look at the stats, and I don't really worry about, you know, the small sample size as that pitch gets away from him. And it looks like that landing spot on the mound might be not to his liking. When that's actually been one of the things that I've noticed about this ballpark is that when any pitcher starts missing to the left or the right, it's usually where the plant foot lands. 3-1, down low for a ball. As McGraw takes the first walk of the inning, leadoff walk, that's going to bring up Bryce Knock. Right fielder batting .213, a double, 3 RBI on the season. And, you know, I think, you know, throwing out the stats, you know, there are a lot of bright spots in every spot in this team, whether it's starting pitchers, bullpens. There's a little line drive caught by Harpelani.
Nice catch.
Nice catch for Harpelani, and that is the first out of the day. And especially with the Summer League, I don't necessarily think that ERA, average, anything is going to be a measure of success. Really what the measure of success is are they performing like they would perform at their primary college during the season? And from what you're telling me, I'm getting the feeling that Brady Wright pitching as hard for the Tarp Skunks as for any other team that he plays for.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if he's in a game, believe me, you're going to get everything he's got. You know, and what he's here to do and why we're so excited about this opportunity is to learn how to throw against college kids.
As the runner goes, throw down to second, not in time.
I mean, he's going to go from throwing against freshmen and all the way to seniors in high school in a really competitive conference, you know, in district back in where we come from, in Florida, to learning how to throw against, you know, D1, you know, athletes, and it's a learning progress. And I personally, I feel like I've seen a ton of progression in him so far since he's been up here. You know, I think this is his 5th or 6th outing for the Tarp Skunks, and every single time he goes out there, you know, we talk about it after the fact, and everything seems to be dialing in and getting closer to what we're used to seeing. And the jump from high school to college definitely takes effort and requires progress. If he doesn't keep getting better, and he knows that, then, you know, he's not going to fulfill his dream.
As there's a tapper to third, Schroeder looking back, the runner throws out to first, throw back to third as McGraw advances on the weak ground green ball.
Weak ground ball, I got you.
There we go, thank you. You want a job? No, I was gonna take the rest of the day off here. 2-away runner at third. Second inning, we've seen runner get to third here against Brady. I think he's gonna shut him out here though. As the first pitch to Jack Steed, the shortstop, misses for a ball, 206 average, a double, a triple, 5 RBI. And Brady Wright kicks and throws the pitch inside for a ball, 2-0. I got to ask the ultimate what-if scenario. Brady goes through 4 years of college, gets his degree, still plays baseball. The MLB draft is calling him. What would be his team that he would want to go to? And I think I know where you would want him to go in Tampa.
You know, it's a tough question to answer because the way that we as a family and definitely a relationship I have with him, we're not going to get ahead of anything. There's a long ways to go to get to that point. But he is an absolute.
As that is going to be called a strike, Knox put his arm in the strike zone and got hit by the pitch. So throw out the HBP, and it's 2-2.
Great call by the umpire there.
Absolutely. We've seen that a couple of times, too, this season.
And you're seeing a lot more in college as well. And anyway, to answer your question, absolutely bluntly and point blank, I mean, he is a massive Rays fan. I would say that if that were to ever be his future, which we certainly hope it maybe could be the case one day down the road, if it were to end up being for the Tampa Bay Rays, he would be ecstatic.
As there's a pop-up heading back toward us and out of play. 3-2, the count to Knox.
But at the same time, if that phone rings from any club, you definitely answer, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Brady Wright, 3-2, 2 outs here, top of the second inning. Looking to get out of it here. Steed crowding the plate, and the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Stead got caught looking for the train to Nopesville, arguing with the home plate umpire, but it doesn't matter. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Pilots, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to join us here on the booth.
I appreciate it. It's an absolute pleasure to meet both of you all. Listen nonstop at home, and definitely awesome to be here in person. I will give one tip of the hat to Diethrick Park here. I grew up a Tigers fan because we didn't have the Rays when I was a kid. And my mom's side of the family is all from Detroit. And the stanchions for the lights and a little bit of this reminds me of the old Tigers stadium I used to go to as a kid whenever we visit family up in Detroit. And it was absolutely a pleasure to be here and an absolute honor to meet both of you. And can't thank you enough for everything you guys do.
Well, it's been a pleasure and honor for us to have you in the booth as well as to have Brady playing for us here. And all I ask is, if he does make it to the majors, just leave me a ticket every once in a while.
I'm sure he would be willing to do that for you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
As Brady writes, his parents coming in to tour.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by the Davies Investment Group in Painted Post, New York. In a world filled with financial choices, finding the right path can be daunting. But fear not, because the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards is here to guide you every step of the way. With over a century of combined experience, this dedicated team is committed to helping you achieve your financial goals. They take the time to understand your unique needs and aspirations, crafting personalized strategies designed to grow and protect your wealth. But they don't stop there. They collaborate with your trusted advisors to ensure a comprehensive approach tailored specifically to you. When it comes to your financial future, trust the experts from the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards. Contact Davies Investment Group today at daviesinvestmentgroup.com or visit them at 310 Town Center Road, Suite 201, Painted Post, New York 14870. Davies Investment Group, member SIPC. As we're ready to get going here in the bottom of the second inning, after we had that delightful conversation with Mr. Wright, it's going to be Kobe Jones, Chanel Maldonado, and DJ Stoyanovich to face in the bottom of the second. It's Dre Guinness.
All right, thank you very much, Matty. As the first pitch missing outside for a ball to Kobe Jones. Got to make a correction to the score. I wasn't really paying attention to who was hitting. I was enjoying the conversation. As there's a line drive foul down the third base line past the bag. It was McGraw, Knox, Stead, and Ferreira was the one that was caught looking to end the inning. So just wanted to correct the record here as the 0-1 pitch, or 1-1 pitch misses for a ball, 2-1. that's a fun experience. I think if you're a Tarp Skunks parent and you come to the park, you need to come visit the booth.
Absolutely. Like, we'd love to be able to talk to you about your son, about what he's done, how he got to be a Tarp Skunk, how he came to be what he is today. So, Tarp Skunks parents listening in today, come check out the ballpark sometime.
As the pitch grounded to second, picked up by Zena, throw on to first for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Shaniel Maldonado. I gotta say though, to me, I think Mr. Wright's done a little broadcasting work before because he was smooth.
It did sound like it, didn't it?
Yeah, he was more on top of it than I was. I was listening to more what he was saying. He was doing a better job watching the game than I was. As Maldonado stands in and the first pitch. Misses for a ball. 1-0. Shaniel 242 on the season, a double, 6 RBI. And the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-0. Keegan's 2-0 pitch, missing on the inside corner for a ball, 3-0. Shaniel doing a good job scouting locations and not swinging on the 3-0 pitch. That one in the dirt, or off the catcher's glove into the backstop for a ball. And that is going to be a 1-out walk. I don't know. I'm a little scattered today again. Trying to make it through this as DJ Stoyanovich steps in, batting 212. 2 doubles, 12 RBI, team leader in that category here for the Tarp Skunks. Had an eventful couple of days, we'll just put it that way. Maldonado off first, and Keegan's first pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Stoyanovich waits. Swinging. There's a fly ball into left field. Russo going back on it, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Skunks still looking for their first hit of the ballgame. As Henry Juan comes up, the Tarp Skunks catcher. For Juan, batting 273, 3 RBIs on the season, missed some time with an injury. But since he's come back, he's been swinging a pretty hot bat. And Keegan's first pitch. Low and outside for a ball. 1-0. One-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Aiden Wallace on deck would be next. Maldonado leading off first. The 1-1. Inside corner for a strike, 1-2. Breaking ball buckled Juan at the knees. Crowds the plate at home. Maldonado takes his lead from first. And the pitch. Called strike 3, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the third inning. Still 1-0 Pilots.
With locations in Jamestown, Newark, Diethrick, and Newark. Therefore, Schultz Automotive is offering the best deals on new and pre-owned vehicles from America's top brands. Even after they name the keys, they're there to help you with your automotive experience. With my online maintenance scheduling tools, your qualified technicians, newly renovated service facilities, along with complimentary loan card and shuttle programs. Experience the next generation of auto care at Schultz dealership today.
Don't forget our next home game is going to be Friday against Niagara Falls as the Americans come into town on $2 hot dog night. Come on down, grab a couple of tasty hot dogs for the low, low price of $2 and enjoy the Tarp Skunks and the Americans Friday night under the lights. As we head to the top of the third inning, it'll be Naraki, Hunter, and the top of the order, Zena, to face Brady Wright, who's starting his third inning of work. Here to tell you all about it, it's Matty G.
Yay, my turn. Hopefully I'll be able to raise my called run average numbers because I lost a bit of traction there. I'm at 2.42, Dre's at 4.15, meaning every game he's averaging 4.15 innings or runs scored for the Skunks, while I've only got 2.42.
It's like whose line is it anyways? Points don't matter.
To me, they do. Naraki steps in. First pitch by Wright, high and outside for ball one. So 9-10 top. Naraki coming into this game batting 150 on the season. The 1-0 delivery. Swing and a whiff. Count 1-1. Brady Wright delivers. That pitch in the dirt, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch makes the count 3-1, as that one was at about the neck level of Naraki. Brady, the dealer, hits Naraki right on the hindquarters. Fastball, 3-1 pitch, slips out of the hand of Brady Wright, and Naraki is aboard to bring up Grant Hunter.
And Naraki right now is thinking, come on, man, I already had 3 balls. If you just want to put me on base, throw a ball, don't hit me. That's what happens when you crowd the plate. And it's humid outside. Sometimes the pitcher doesn't have the greatest grip, and, well, you know, it's part of the game.
First pitch, ground ball, third base side, just foul and over the head of Tommy Schroeder. Grant Hunter coming into this game, 154 batting average. Double play would absolutely be crucial here as the top of the order is due up. Brady Wright comes set. The 0-1 delivery. Change up, high and away, counts 1-1. One count. Naraki off first. The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. 2-1. Naraki off first. Checks the runner. The pitch. Low and outside. And the count's 3-1. As you hear the parents of Brady shouting encouragement. You know, you can almost ask yourself, which is the harsher critic, yourself or your parents? The 3-1 pitch, liner into left field, and that's going to drop down the line fair for a base hit. Naraki off second. He's going to try for third. The throw not in time and wild by Kobe Jones. So it is a no-out double for Grant Hunter, and that makes it a very quick jam here. Runners on second and third, nobody out with the top of the order due up.
Yeah, again, I'm wondering about the landing point for Brady Wright's plant foot, that area in front of the mound's chewed up. That is fresh dirt that the groundskeepers put on after the torrential rain, so maybe not as packed down tightly as he likes.
Zena steps in. His first pitch, low and away. Good stop by Henry Juwan. And Juwan is going to call time and have a talk with Brady, right? Kind of like a settle down, check and make sure that everything's okay.
It's almost like breaking a broken rhythm. So if you're the catcher, you're seeing that something's not right, the rhythm's not right, the timing's not right, something's not right, especially after you throw a few consecutive balls. Not a bad idea to pop out from behind the plate and press the reset button.
Well, let's see if turning the rhythm off and on again will help out Brady. As the count's 1-0 to Zena. Has his pitch, the windup, and the delivery. Liner into left field again, and that's going to drop for a base hit. One run comes across. Second run's going to try to score. The throw into second instead of home. So it is a 2-run single for Dominic Zena to make the score 3-0 Pilots. And still nobody out. So Brady going to have to do some other kind of reset here as Grant Russo steps in. His first pitch. Pop fly center field. Going back is Doyle. He makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
Bottom of the order doing damage for the Pilots here. And Zena at the top of the order, playing almost, Naraki and Hunter set the table, and Zena coming through almost like the 3 or 4 hitter, clearing the table.
Mason Haar to the dish now. His first pitch, low and away for ball 1. Haar did strike out looking his first time up. Russo off first. No, Zena off first. My fault. He goes. The throw down. Not in time. However, it was a late slide as Zena collides with Harpalani. Both of them checking to make sure they are okay. So it seems like the slide was accidental. The pitch was high for a ball. So the count is 2-0.
He slid for a long time. If you look, you can see where he started to slide about 2 feet, 3 feet before the cutout at second base. It's just the momentum carried him through the bag.
It's either the speed or the dirt that carried him through.
Maybe a combination of both.
2-0 count. The pitch to Haar. Foul back. And the count's 2-1. So Brady having to grind a little bit here in the top of the third. Trying to keep this crooked number as small as possible. Come set. Checks Zena at first. The 2-1 pitch. Change up over the heart of the plate for strike 2. Haar. Ready to go. So is right. Checks the runner once. Dancing is Zena on second. Checks the runner again. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball fielded by Brady himself. He will let Zena advance over to third as he had no play. His momentum was pulling him towards first, so he makes the easy 1-3 put out, and there are 2 away.
Nice bit of pitching by Brady to get Haar there. Worked him to a 2-2 count and got Haar to hit it off the end of his bat for a weak comebacker.
Ray Toth here in the plate now. His first pitch, curveball over the heart of the plate, dropping in there for strike 1.
Toth grounded out to third back in the first inning to end the Pilot side.
Swing and a miss. And the counts quickly work to 0-2. Brady trying to get out of this jam. Shakes off a pitch. Now he's got what he likes. The 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. And the side is retired, but not before the damage was done. 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Score has changed. It is now 3-0 Pilots.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Prevention Works and Casa Trinity. Prevention Works in Jamestown, New York provides substance use prevention and social emotional learning and intervention services since 1974. Casa Trinity is dedicated to empowering those on their path to recovery. Hope begins here and recovery is possible. Both Prevention Works and Casa Trinity are pairing up to educate the communities on the dangers of fentanyl that is getting too close to home. 1 pill is enough to kill, especially if it contains fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams to take a life, which equates to the tip of a pencil. Be proactive and protect your loved ones by learning more. Visit dea.gov/1pill if you think you know someone at risk, or call 716-664-3608. Jake Keegan finishing up his warm-up tosses. He's going to start his 3rd inning of work. He'll face Aiden Wallace, Brandon McLean Banks, and Eli Harpalani, the 9-10 one-hitters. So a mirror image of the top of the 1st. Let's see if we can get a mirror image on the scoreboard. And here to tell you about it, it's Matty G.
All right, Aiden Wallace comes in to bat, coming into this game, batting .241 on the season, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs thus far. His first pitch from Keegan. Swing and a miss, chasing the curveball in the dirt. 0-1. The windup and fire. Pop fly, foul out of play and into the concourse.
And that just missed a pack of 3-toed sloths out there.
God, how exotic are we going to go with this?
You should see my notebook.
So 0-2 the count now to Aiden Wallace. Shakes off 1, 2 pitches is Keegan. Now he's got what he likes. 3rd time's the charm. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Counts 1-2.
I think it started as a backhanded tribute to Steve Irwin, and it just kind of took a life of its own.
The 1-2 delivery. Check swing, foul down the 3rd base line. Fielded by a member of the Tarp Skunks team not playing tonight. Barehanded, I will say. So 1-2 will be done all over again. Wallace ready to go. So is Keegan. The rock and fire. Fouled off again.
Ooh, that one bouncing right off the roof of the restroom facilities. Hope that didn't scare anybody inside. That would probably freak me out.
Well, you just randomly hear a thud on your roof.
Yeah, as you're washing your hands.
That pitch low and away, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Pop fly, foul territory, Bermuda Triangle area, and into the Newark Pilots bullpen.
And not a single Pilot in the bullpen moved.
So it almost reminds me of the Chicago Cubs. That one clip I saw of like the old Chicago Cubs bullpen when they were in Toronto. Rip foul hit over towards them, and none of them flinched an inch, even though it ricocheted off of one of their knees. It was the weirdest thing I had ever seen. It was almost like a glitch in the Matrix. So we'll do 2-2 over again. The pitch to Wallace. Ground ball foul. Just missing Ryan Hill.
Those guys in the bullpen have to come up with as many creative ways to fill time.
To entertain themselves.
To entertain themselves. So that I bet that was some sort of a game to see, whoever moves first loses.
A game of chicken.
Yep.
As Keegan steps off. Little disagreement with his catcher. Shakes off one, shakes off two. Now he's got what he likes. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again. And Wallace having a QAB, stands for quality at bat, as Wallace doesn't want to go down without a fight.
That's fourth foul ball, so ninth pitch of the at-bat.
That pitch missing low and away, and the count's 3-2.
And for any kids watching at home, right now what you're seeing is a clinic on how to work a count.
The payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. What an at-bat by Aiden Wallace, working the count as necessary. Didn't find the pitch he wanted, so continuously foul after foul after foul, and then eventually drawing the walk. Any way on base is the best way on base, as action has begun in the Tarp Skunks bullpen, or not Tarp Skunks, Pilots bullpen. Nothing serious as of right now, as first pitch to McLean Banks, high and out for ball 1. Wallace off first, runners checked, the pitch, low and away, and now the count's 2-0.
Johnny Hesterman, the one warming up in the Pilots bullpen.
Just doing his daily stretches. Wallace with a big lead off first. The 2-0 pitch, low, and the count's 3-0. 4 straight balls by Jake Kean. The 3-0 pitch. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Brandon McLean Banks. And that will bring up the top of the order with Eli Harpelani. Harpelani's first at-bat showing off a bit of strength. A fly out to left field, only about 5 feet from the warning track. We'll see what Harpelani can do with a runner in scoring position. As he stands in, ready to go. Keegan has his pitch. Checks Wallace at second. Checks him again. First pitch to Harpelani. Called strike 1. And one thing I'm noticing is the Pilots are preparing for a bunt. The first baseman, Ferreira, is a good 10 feet in front of the bag. He's already in the grass as the 0-1 pitch outside counts 1-1. And I'm not 100% certain why they're preparing for a bunt. If you're down by 3, you're going to want your guys to swing away.
Yeah, this early on, though, a surprise bunt to move runners in the corner or runners in scoring position.
The 1-1 pitch, high, 2-1.
May not necessarily be a bad thought.
Well, the one thing I will say is that Harpelani doesn't even look like he's trying to square to bunt on any of these. He's just kind of watching them go by, as now they're taking notice of it, and Ferreira is back behind McLean Banks. The 2-1 pitch. Pop up, shallow infield. Going over is Zena, and he will make the grab for out number 1. Tried to make a throw over to Aiden Wallace at second. Tried to catch him lacking.
Didn't really matter, though, because that was an infield fly.
It was not called, however.
Should have been.
It wasn't in the infield, and the way that works, the way that infield fly works is the player has to be camped underneath the ball. If the player is barely moving, then infield fly is called. But because Zeno was still running by the time he had the chance to go and make the grab, infield fly was not in effect. As first pitch by Doyle, line down the right field line, just foul.
I was going to say, yeah, tell that to Atlanta. They're still stinging after a controversial infield fly rule back in the playoffs a few years ago.
Rules are rules. I just tell them like it is.
And I break them.
0-1 pitch to Doyle. Check swing. Did not go around. Counts 1-1. Doyle did strike out his first time up. The 1-1 pitch. Line down the left field line this time. Also just foul. So Doyle with one extreme and then the other, trying to see if he can find that happy medium as the count's 1-2.
Just a little late on the first foul ball. Just a little early on this one. This might be the 3 Bears scenario, and this one might be just right.
The 1-2 pitch. Right up the middle. Weak pop fly coming in is McGraw, and it'll drop down for a base hit. And everyone will be safe. McLean Banks safe at second. They tried to get him out with the throw on the force, but it was not in time. And the tarp, once again, as it was pulled over the field earlier, has been pulled over the field yet again. We are full of skunks.
And the forest full of skunks out on the field, and Tommy Schroeder coming to the plate. And, you know, the 3 Bears scenario worked out perfect. The first one too early, the second one too late, and the third one just right.
First pitch to Schroeder. On the inside corner, called strike 1 at the knees.
This is when Schroeder excels, usually lacing balls down the left field line.
The 0-1. In the dirt, good stop by Naraki to keep that ball in front of him. Counts 1-1. Schroeder does not have an at-bat yet, as he did walk his first plate appearance.
Still batting .250, 4 RBI on the season, looking to add to it.
The 1-1. Called strike 2. So 1-2, 1 out. Bases are loaded. Keegan out of the windup. The fire. Foul back. And Schroeder stays alive. Corners are playing in. Infield double play depth. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive left field. That's going to drop and go into the gap for a base hit. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. They're going to wave. They're going to wave him around, but he will stop at third. But now they got Doyle in a rundown as he slipped at third base, and they will catch him. But Schroeder moves to third. It is a 2-run double for Tommy Schroeder. And the score is now 3-2. An unlucky break there for Leo Doyle, having to halt around third and just slipped on the wet grass and got caught in a quick pickle there.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation for the Skunks. However, Schroeder with the heads-up played to take third to get himself in scoring position for Bobby Stang.
First pitch with 2 away to Bobby Stang over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Stang flew out to left his first time up. Literally would have landed in front of the wall with where he put that ball last time up. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Counts 1-1.
So with that now, Tommy Schroeder with 6 RBI on the season.
The 1-1. Liner into left. Going back is Russo. And he will make the grab for the third out of the inning. But the bat of Tommy Schroeder doing the damage. 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 hits. 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the 4th inning. The score now 3-2 Pilots.
Niagara Falls comes into town on Friday for $2 hot dog night. Elmira comes to town for a doubleheader on Sunday. And then our last $2 night of the season against Niagara Falls on Tuesday, July 9th, $2 beer, $2 hot dog, $2 beer, $2 tickets, and $2 beer and $2 beer. That's going to be Tuesday, July 9th. And then the final buyout night of the season is going to be Thursday, July 11th, as the Geneva Red Wings come into town. You are not going to want to miss that. To get your tickets, merchandise, and more, visit tarpskunks.com and follow Tarp Skunks on the social media. Also want to let you know that game on July 11th is First Responders Night. So come on out and support your first responders as we go to the fourth inning. McGraw-Knox and Stead facing Brady Wright.
First pitch is over the head of McGraw for ball one. I kind of stuttered there for a second. You didn't say my name.
I was kind of giving you the soft lead in.
Sure, let's go with that. The next pitch outside, 2-0. So 2-0, Brady Wright coming in for his fourth inning of work. The 2-0 pitch. Lined into right field over the head of Harpalani, and it is a leadoff base hit for Keenan McGraw. So every inning that Brady Wright has come out, a runner for the Pilots has gotten on base. So the Pilots keeping things consistent. No 1-2-3 innings yet for Brady Wright, having to dig in and do a little bit of work as Bryce Knox comes to the plate. Knox coming in batting .213 on the season, has a double and 5 RBIs thus far. His first pitch, low and outside, ball one.
I do want to let you know that on Saturday, July 20th, as Geneva Red Wings come into town, will be a very special game for the Tarp Skunks.
As that pitch popped out of play, counts 1-1.
It was a very special ball game for me as Strikeout Cancer Night, as the Tarp Skunks and the Italian American Charity Golf Association raise money for local cancer cure. You can buy raffle tickets to win one of...
As that pitch low and away for ball two. Cut you off mid-sentence there, Dre.
I stopped for you for the pitch, but yeah, one of 30-plus game-worn jerseys, and they are going to be the pink Tarp Skunks collectible.
The 2-1. Ground ball, could be two. Fielded from Harpalani to McLean Banks for one, but they couldn't get the second, but they did get the lead runner. Both Harpalani and McLean Banks struggled a little bit to get the ball out of their glove, so they did not have a play, but they did get the lead runner. So McGraw is retired, but Knox on first on the fielder's choice. That'll bring up Jack Stead.
So go to tarpskunks.com. Also follow the Tarp Skunks on Facebook.
Baseball.
Yeah.
First pitch, curveball in the heart of the plate for strike one.
It rhymes with baseball.
Yeah, it does. Good job. Would you like a cookie?
Yes, I would. I'm a little emotional talking about the breast cancer game, just due to the fact that for the past 3 years,
that pitch out just off the plate for ball one.
I have been running small fundraisers every October for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. It's just a charity that my community of stream viewers decided that, we should do this. In the first year, did well. Every year since then, we've added more and more. Over 3 years, we've raised $2,500 for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So for the Tarp Skunks to put this kind of promotion on to raise money for breast cancer, especially the local cure, sign me up 7 days a week, twice on Sunday.
Absolutely, and congrats to you on that for all of your accomplishments to help them out.
That's minuscule compared to what's going to happen on the 20th of July here.
Counts 3-1 to Jack Stead. The 3-1 pitch. Weak ground ball to second. Could be 2, but he will take the throw to first alone as the throw is in time. Harpolani realized he didn't have much of a play over to second as Knox had the speed to get by him, but they did get the 4-3 put away. Stead is retired, and there are 2 out. Chris Ferreira to the dish now. Ferreira did strike out looking his first time up back in the second inning. As the first pitch, lined, ripped foul, and off of the light post.
No inanimate objects were harmed during that last sequence of play that we're aware of.
I was going to say, do they have feelings?
Of
Do
course.
inanimate objects have feelings?
Of course. It's new science.
Brady Wright comes set, checks, knocks it at second. The pitch. I don't know where that missed.
Maybe a little bit high. That was a curveball that dropped right at the belt.
Counts 1-1 otherwise. Wright has his pitch. Checks the runner. The stretch delivery. Off of the elbow guard of Ferreira. This time they are not going to give him the lean into the strike zone. So Ferreira is aboard with a hit by pitch.
And I got to say, from here, that sounded like ball on wood, not ball on plastic protector.
Whichever the case, a protection is protection.
Should have been a foul ball is my point. It sounded like it hit off the knob of the bat.
Unfortunately, his elbow guard did get in the way. And that's going to bring up Joey Naraki. Naraki was hit by a pitch his first time up, so he doesn't have an official at-bat yet. His first pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Brady Wright ready to go. Checks the runner on second. Checks him again. The pitch to Naraki. Hits him square in the back again. So 2 at-bats, 2 hit by pitches for Joey Naraki. This time it was a changeup that slips out of the hand of Brady Wright. Last time up, his hit by pitch was a fastball off the hindquarters. As Tommy Schroeder is going to bring Brady Wright a towel so he can wipe off the sweat that is on his face and arms to keep it from slipping out of his hand again. And now the Tarp Skunks coaching staff will call time and have a chat with him as the bases are loaded.
You know, the other day I was having a conversation with Julian Sauger, and he was saying, you know, there is the problem that he's seen a couple of times with the Tarp Skunks pitchers is that their arms do get sweaty. That moisture gets on their hands. They don't have anything to wipe that down with. And hopefully the home plate umpire or the umpiring staff will allow him to keep it behind the mound. It looks like they will.
Yeah, I've noticed other pitchers like Gage Hayes has had like rosin bags behind the bag or behind the mound. So allowing a towel, I wouldn't say is too big of an issue.
Yeah.
As Grant Hunter steps in. His first pitch. Gets behind Henry Juwan as it bounced in front of the dirt, or in front of the plate. And Brady Wright tapping his chest saying, that's my fault. I missed that pitch. But another run across for the Newark Pilots. Score is 4-2. Both other runners advance to second and third.
You know, pitching is a lot like bowling. You know, a pro bowler will always have a towel and a rosin bag in his repertoire. And I think all pitchers should have that.
Agreed. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a whiff. Changeup on the inside corner. Grant Hunter a little early on it. Dominic Zena, the top of the order, due on deck. The 1-1. Curveball low, 2-1.
Somewhere Tim Allen's sitting at home going, oh? Where'd that one miss?
I can actually do that. The 2-1 pitch. Low and in the dirt. Good stop by Henry Juwan. Juwan showing signs of frustration with Brady Wright, saying, I got to make all of these stops. And he's been putting in a lot of work having to stop that ball that bounces over the lefty batter's box today. Count is 3-1. Brady Wright out of the windup, has his pitch. The rock and fire hits Grant Hunter. So another hit by pitch. That's the third in a row by Brady Wright, and now the bullpen is getting motion to action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen will begin.
And it should be Will Saxenmeyer down in the bullpen as he's next up on the rotation. This is definitely not the type of beer run that you want to have. We talked about, you get three consecutive base hits in an inning. 3 consecutive hit by pitches.
And that'll bring up the top of the order in Dominic Zena. Zena with a 2 RBI single his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day. His first pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Juwan, keeping it near the dirt circle. To prevent Ferreira from scoring. One and 0 the count. Bases loaded. Ferreira off third. Noraki off second. Zena off of first. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike 1 over the heart of the plate. Or no, it's Hunter off first, excuse me. Zena's at the dish.
Yeah, Ferreira off third, Noraki off second, Hunter off first.
So many names I can't keep track. The 1-1 fouled down the right field line and over the bleachers into the concourse, killing a pack of worms.
Can you really kill a pack of worms with an impact, or would that just push them down in the dirt a little further?
Well, if they were on the surface. The 1-2 fouled back.
Dive for it, Christian!
So we will do 1-2 all over again. Brady shakes off a pitch, shakes off another. Now he's got what he likes. The 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3. And the side is retired. But not before a run does come across. 1 run on 1 hit. Bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The score 4-2 in Newark's favor.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry Systems in Jamestown. Plyler Entry Systems has been serving the area since 1967, and they are a proud member of the Builders Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, the Manufacturers and Business Association, and the International Door Association. They offer a wide variety of products from a number of major manufacturers within the industry. When it comes to doors, they are the expert. Plyler Entry System is the proud sponsor of Whiffy, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks official mascot. To learn more about Plyler Entry Systems, call 716-296-0595 or visit plylerentry.com. Jake Keegan will be starting his 4th inning of work. Due up for the Tarp Skunks is Jones, Maldonado, and Stoyanovich, 5, 6, 7. And here to tell you about it, it's Matty G.
Thank you, Mr. Guinness. Warm-ups have finished for the Newark Pilots here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Score 4-2. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Pilots. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Tarp Skunks thus far, as we are just over a third of the way through. Kobe Jones steps up, leading off his 2nd inning in a row, as he led off the bottom of the 2nd inning and grounded out to second. First pitch from Keegan. Foul tip. Strike 1.
Special shout out to Scotty James joining us on the broadcast. How you doing, Scotty? Welcome to Tarp Skunks Baseball.
Tarp Skunks' #1 fan is Scotty James, as that pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
You know, when I went down to the Tarp Skunks event that they had at the Jackson Center,
as that pitch popped up, foul territory and out of play.
you know, that was the night that I met Christian and everybody else with the team, and it was Scotty James' night. I didn't know anything about what I was walking into, and by the time I left, I almost wanted to go and hang up the Scotty's parking spot sign myself.
The 1-2 lined into left center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Could be extra bases. Kobe Jones around first. He's going to try for second. The throw cut off, not in time, and it is a leadoff double for Kobe Jones.
What a great piece of hitting, going the other way into the opposite field gap. That ball rolling almost to the warning track, if not on the edge. And that is the kind of lightning rod that the Tarp Skunks would like to see at the top of the order.
And that'll bring up Shaniel Maldonado to the plate. Maldonado did walk on 4 pitches his first time up. So he has yet to see a strike, as his first pitch popped up right field line and into the Pilots' bullpen. Foul.
Well, now he's seen a strike.
Only took 5 pitches.
Well, you know, sometimes you have to be selective. It's like when you go to the candy machine, you spend 20 minutes figuring out whether you want a Twix or you want Reese's peanut butter cups. It's just a nightmare,
That's true.
especially if they're out of Snickers.
The 0-1 high for a ball, 1-1. Well, that's the thing. Are you a left Twix or a right Twix kind of guy?
That
is a heated debate.
It is a heated debate. It's like 51-49 left Twix.
Let's go, left Twix. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike 1 at the knees in the outside corner. Called strike 2, my fault. So focus on left Twix.
It just seems to have just a little extra chocolate and a little extra cookie in there. I don't know.
The 1-2. Check swing did go around, and Maldonado is down on strikes. 1 away. And that will bring up DJ Stoyanovich. Stoyanovich did fly out to left his first time up. It was a good piece of hitting, just unfortunately right at Grant Russo, who's over in left tonight. He's definitely had his fair share of action off of the Tarp Skunks lumber. His first pitch in the dirt, 1-0.
Little ahead of myself in the scorebook. I gave him a base hit already.
That pitch popped up foul territory. Going over is Ferreira, but it will fall out of play and into the bleachers.
Boing.
Counts 1-1.
think I'm going to stay away from the sound effects. Not my thing.
So 1-1, 1 out. Kobe Jones off second. Keegan comes set. The 1-1 delivery to Stojanovic. Ground ball towards short, fielded by Stead. The throw gets by Ferreira, and Stojanovic will move to second, and Kobe Jones will come across to score.
That play was an all-around nightmare for Stead. Had a problem picking it off the ground, was already looking at third, thinking about getting Jones going to third. By the time he threw it to first, he was off balance, bouncing past Ferreira, allowing Jones to score.
Ferreira had a good attempt at it, had a good stretch, almost doing the splits, but it just wasn't enough as it bounced off of the foul territory fencing, and Stojanovic trading places with Kobe Jones, scores 4-3, still one away, and Henry Juwan to the plate now.
And that's been one of the things that has been plaguing DJ Stojanovic this season. He's been getting on base, but there have been a lot more getting on base via the air than actually getting the base hit. And at some point,
That was grounded foul.
You almost want to invent your own stat.
Your own personal batting average.
Just to make yourself feel good, because he's been hitting the ball hard. It's just been right at somebody.
Or the error just makes it not count in his favor.
Exactly.
So counts 1-1 to Henry Juwan. Checks the runner. Keegan's delivery. Inside corner called strike 2, and Juwan not impressed about the call.
You have to believe he's saying, well, if you're going to call that on me, you got to call that on them.
Catchers usually have the best ability to see the strike zone on both sides of the spectrum, offense and defense. 1-2 pitch, grounded foul. Same area as the one previous.
And catchers are going to have a little bit more leeway as far as being able to talk to the home plate umpire as opposed to, say, the pitcher on the mound. Pitcher on the mound barks at the home plate umpire, and that's almost, showing it up. Catcher talking to the home plate umpire is more of a fact of, okay, where'd that miss? All right, so, and then you can relay that information back to your pitcher. So I think that extends also while a hitter or a catcher is hitting.
So 1-2 count to Henry Juwan. Stojanovic off second. The 1-2. Pop up in the infield. Underneath it is Stead, and he will make the grab casually for out number 2. And that will bring up Aiden Wallace to the dish.
And you have to think about, someone pops up a ball and the defense is going after it, either from the dugout or the fence. Someone should yell out, "Watch out, there's a cat!"
Trying to give him a distraction as first pitch to Aiden Wallace bounces off of the press box.
Well, I have heard variations of that throughout going to baseball games and watching it on TV. It's usually not PG what they're saying is out there, but if you say a cat, most people are going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to step on a cat."
Cat, dog, squirrel, whichever.
Hey, don't bring up the squirrels, man.
The 0-1 pitch in the dirt for ball 1. As we've got Dre, the conspiracy theorist, next to me.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a superstition, and it's one that is well-founded. I'll tell you the story sometime.
The 1-1 gets by the catcher, but not enough to allow Stojanovic to advance. Count is 2-1.
Now, I'll tell you the story off there. While it's not a bad story, it's just not one that I want to put out there.
2-1, 2 out. Stojanovic off of second. The pitch from Keegan. This one gets by the catcher enough to allow Stojanovic to advance. So the wild pitch makes it 3-1, and Stojanovic easily just trots into third base. And Aiden Wallace in the driver's seat counts 3-1. Naraki is going to come out and have a chat with Jake Keegan.
No activity in the Pilots' bullpen. And Keegan wants a new baseball. Home plate umpire says, nothing really wrong with that one. I'm going to put it back in the pouch.
3-1 the count. Wallace ready to go. The delivery from Keegan. In the dirt, and that is a 5-pitch walk for Aiden Wallace. Makes it runners on the corners for Brandon McLean Banks. McLean Banks did walk his first time up. It was on 4 pitches. So McLean Banks also yet to see a strike.
McLean Banks hit rather well on Monday night in the bottom spot in the lineup.
His first pitch. Now he's seen a strike. That one over the heart of the plate on the inside portion. 0-1. The pitch. Ground ball towards short. Fielded on the run by Stead. He will throw on to second for the final out of the inning. But not before another run does come across. The 1 run in the top of the 4th was answered. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 runner left, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The score now 4-3. New pitcher on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Replacing Brady Wright is going to be the returning Will Saxenmeyer. Will Saxenmeyer, a sophomore from Wagner College, calls Holly Springs, North Carolina home. A big gentleman, 6'5", 208 pounds. And it's his second year in a Jamestown Tarp Skunks uniform. So he is no stranger to Russell E. Diethrick Jr. Park. Some of his 2024 stats. He's made 11 appearances in 2024 for Wagner College. Got 14 innings of work. Currently 0-2 record for him. A 15 ERA, 3 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts thus far this season. He will be facing Russo, Haar, and Toth here in the top of the 5th. And here to tell you all about it, it's Mr. Drake Innes.
All right, thank you very much, Matty. As the first pitch to Russo, or make that, Russo pulls the bat back high for a ball, 1-0. Saxenmeyer on the mound. First appearance here since his last start, and a swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Russo 1 for 2, singled in the first, flew out to center back in the 3rd inning. Line on Brady Wright coming up, as that one misses on the outside, 2-1. This is going to be probably one of the odder stat lines you'll ever hear. And you'll see why in just a moment. As that pitch misses, and Russo draws a 5-pitch leadoff walk to start the 5th inning. That is going to bring up Mason Harr, the designated hitter. Came into this game batting .345. The line on White, 4 innings pitched, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts, no walks, 4 hit by pitch.
Which, in pitcher's terms, that essentially does mean 4 walks. I mean, you did let someone on.
Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball, throw down, gets into center field, picked up by Doyle and made a rush throw to Schroeder, and getting the stolen base and advancing on the air is Russo. So now the Pilots have a runner at third, nobody out here. Harr stands in, the 1-0. Swing, and there's a line drive into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Russo scores. Harr with an RBI single, and it's now 5-3 Pilots.
Yeah, and a good piece of hitting there by Mason Harr. But one thing I will say is if the throw had been cut off at second on that steal, with where that ball was placed, it was very possible that Russo might not have had time if he stayed at second to score. So an unfortunate turn of events that allowed Russo to move over to third. It was what allowed that run to come across.
As Ray Toth stands in, takes the first pitch high for a ball, 1-0. So the Pilots score, the Skunks respond. Pilots score, Skunks respond. Pilots score in the 5th inning. We'll see what the bottom of the 5th inning has as the 1-0 pitch misses for a ball, 2-0. Clouds starting to overtake the sky here, but nothing threatening. Lights have been in effect for a while now. As the 2-0 pitch misses for a ball, 3-0. Saxonmeyer laboring here a little bit, trying to find that rhythm. And the 3-0 misses for a ball. Second walk of the inning, 3rd consecutive runner to reach base for Newark, and that's going to bring up Keegan McGraw. McGraw stands in. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Saxonmeyer checking the runner at second, and the pitch. Missed inside for a ball. 1-0. Ryan Hill's goal for Saxonmeyer today is to get him up to as close to 60 pitches as possible. As the 1-0 pitch taken for a strike, 1-1. As Saxonmeyer steps off. Looking in, getting the sign. As that one misses outside for a ball, 2-1. Runners take their lead. Saxonmeyer kicks and throws, and there's a base hit into center field. Doyle up with it. He's going to throw it to the plate. Runners coming in, but Juwan can't make the tag before Harr scores. Moving over to third is Ray Toth and an RBI single for Keegan McGraw. And it's now 6-3 Newark.
Some stretching has begun in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. I don't know how serious it's going to be. I don't know how long they're going to let Saxonmeyer ride in this inning.
First pitch runner goes, taken high and tight, and there will be no throw down to second. So a stolen base for McGraw. Puts runners at second and third with nobody out. Harpolani charging second like he was expecting the pickoff throw. Back to his position. Saxonmeyer comes set and the pitch. There's a ground ball too short, picked up by McLean Banks. Throw on to first. For the first out of the inning, scoring on the play is Toth, and it's 7-3. And an RBI for Knox. That's going to bring up Jack Stead. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Three up here in the top of the fifth inning. And the pitch missing way outside for a ball. 1-1. And Juan is having to put in some work here behind the plate. And the pitch fouled off. And it will be 1-2 now. To Stead, grounded out to third, grounded out to second. 0 for 2 on the day. And the 1-2 pitch. Thought about it, but held up for a ball on the outside. 2-2. And the 2-2 misses low for a ball. 3-2. Line drive into left center field. That's a base hit. McGraw's going to score. Turning first and holding is Stead with an RBI, and it is now 8-3.
Yeah, Saxonmeyer struggling a little bit to find the strike zone. And when he does find the strike zone, unfortunately, it's just in counts where the hitters are sitting dead red. So they're just waiting on his fastball to come across the plate, and they're just timing him up piece by piece.
As the first pitch to Ferreira way outside for a ball. Good hockey save by Henry Juan. I know a few hockey teams that could use someone with his skill. Did you see the San Jose Sharks picked a goalie with their first pick in the NHL draft this year?
I'm not a big NHL guy, so I don't really know if that's weird or not.
I think it is. Of course, I'm not that big of an NHL guy myself. I do follow the Red Wings a little bit. But it has been since probably 2006 that I've really been into the NHL. So that pitch up and in, just missing Ferreira. 2-1 the count. As Gavin Stevens warming up for the Pilots in the Newark bullpen. 3-0 the count. Still only one away here. As that one hits the zone. 3-2, full count.
as Hayden Givens Craig has begun throwing in the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
Runner goes, and it's ball 4, so does not matter anyway. Interesting call to send the runner on 3-2 with 1 out. But no harm, no foul as the catcher Joey Naraki steps in. And we are getting a visit to the mound.
I have a feeling that this outing by the coaching staff is just to stall for time. I mean, Saxonmeyer has given up 4 runs so far this inning alone. Still only 1 out. He's just been struggling through and through, hasn't had the ability to settle in, and unfortunately, his time, I have feeling, is coming to a close very, very soon, just to give Hayden Givens Craig a little bit of time to keep his warm-up going. Like you said, Ryan Hill does want to get Saxonmeyer as close to 60 pitches as he can, but the question is, how much longer does the torture go on?
As taking a premature jump at second was Stead. He almost got picked off. Saxonmeyer a little late to the party on that one. And I know exactly what that conversation at the mound was. It was, pointing the finger at Henry Juwan saying he's calling the game, trust what he says. Don't shake anyone off anymore. And the pitch. That one hits the outside corner for a strike, and we're 0-1. 4 across here in the top of the 5th inning, 8-3 the score with the Pilots in control here. Runners at first and second, still only 1 out. And the pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. Saxonmeyer with the long look in. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Hunter, the extra hitter, on deck. Now Saxonmeyer stepping off. Stares in intently, getting the sign. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Naraki goes down swinging for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Grant Hunter, the extra hitting. Hunter doubled and was hit by a pitch. This will be the 3rd consecutive inning he's hit in. Runners take their leads off first and second. The pitch. That's a strike at the knees. 0-1. Saxonmeyer with the long look in. And the pitch, runners go to third. And sliding in without a throw is Stead. So now runners at the corner with 2 out. One and one the count. The pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-1. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So Saxonmeyer evening the count.
Action has halted in the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
You have to wonder at this point, is it because Givens Craig is ready, or they're going to let Saxonmeyer ride longer? Swing and a miss. And Hunter goes down on strikes, but 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 8-3 Newark.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by the Davies Investment Group in Painted Post, New York. In a world filled with financial choices, finding the right path can be daunting. But fear not, because the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards is here to guide you every step of the way. With over a century of combined experience, this dedicated team is committed to helping you achieve your financial goals. They take the time to understand your unique needs and aspirations, crafting personalized strategies designed to grow and protect your wealth. But they don't stop there. They collaborate with your trusted advisors to ensure a comprehensive approach tailored specifically to you. When it comes to your financial future, trust the experts from the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards. Contact Davies Investment Group today at daviesinvestmentgroup.com or visit them at 310 Town Center Road, Suite 201, Painted Post, New York, 14870. Davies Investment Group, member SIPC. As we get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning, Keegan will remain on the mound. Due up for the Skunks will be the top of the order, Harpalani, Doyle, and Tommy Schroeder. Got a little bit of work to do as you're now down by 5, but we know the Tarp Skunks have no quit. Here to tell you all about it, it's the main man, Dre Guinness.
Thank you very much, Matty G, as Eli Harpalani steps in for his 3rd at-bat of the ball game. 0 for 2. He flew out to left field in the 1st inning. Popped out to 2nd in shallow left field back in the 3rd. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Harpalani, Doyle, Schroeder, the 1-2-3 hitters due up. Stang would be 4th if they get to him, and a foul off into the stands. And we're even at 1 apiece. Action continuing in the Newark bullpen as that ball is fouled off to the right and out of play again. And that takes the count to 1-2. Flags hanging straight down in center, and the pitch in the dirt. And that one got the umpire.
That hit him on his elbow. It got him on his right elbow. He's gripping it, pacing around the backstop. Looks like Connor Kiefer coming out to give the umpire a glass of water, give him a little bit of time to recover from where that ball missed the catcher, Naraki. Just checking and making sure that he is okay. Looking like he's good to go.
Rub some dirt on it, Blue. You've been an umpire for how many years now? 4 or 5?
I still have a bruise on my my chest from a game a couple days ago. I've done it for about 4 years now. I started once I graduated high school.
It's the worst place you've ever been hit. That's the 2-2 pitch. Inside for a ball, 3-2.
I'm kind of with the home plate umpire on this one. I've taken a couple off of the arm before, never the elbow, luckily. But I've taken it off of just about every part of my body.
3-2 pitch, misses low. Harpalani draws a leadoff walk. So a runner aboard for Leo Doyle.
As I've taken one off the face mask. I've taken multiple off the face mask. I've taken multiple off the arms. I've taken multiple off my chest. I've taken multiple off my legs, my shins, my feet. As it looks like there's going to be a coaching visit for the Newark Pilots.
I got to say, the worst, I never got hit Well, I was working the infield, which, knock on wood, but I'm not umpiring anymore, so I don't think that's ever going to happen. The worst that I ever got hit was on a fastball thrown by this. He must have been 16, 17. He was throwing 85, 86 on his fastball, and a foul tip that went right off the bat and hit me right in the collarbone.
Yeah.
That was the absolute worst I ever took from behind home plate, and that made me think twice about umpiring. As Leo Doyle stands in, snap throw over to first. Harpelani's back.
It's kind of a deadly move there by Jake Keegan. It's a very quick snap throw, as it seems like there is a fog that is settling in over Russell Lee Diethrick Jr. Park.
First pitch, swinging. There's a fly ball out to center field. Underneath it is McGraw, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
And that ball was hit rather well. If Leo Doyle got a little bit over top of that from where he hit it, that would have been a line drive base hit, as there was a very wide gap in left center. That could have gone to the left center power alley and could have allowed Harpelani to go to third and maybe even score.
It seems like the ball's dying in the outfield as Keegan taking another look at first base. Tommy Schroeder standing in. Right-hander waits, and the pitch. Missing low for a ball, 1-0. Harpelani off first. The 1-0. Ground ball to third. Could be two. To second for one. On to first. Not in time, as Schroeder beats it out on the fielder's choice. And that will go 5-4 on the putout. So Harpelani wiped out.
And thank goodness, too. It did look like Ferreira might have pulled his foot off the bag as well, but Schroeder just beaten out the throw by a half a step. The speed of him coming into play. I gotta take a look at some of the stats on Tommy Schroeder. Take a look at what his 60 time is. I gotta see how fast this kid is.
So standing in now is the first baseman, Bobby Stang. Flew out to left field twice. He's hit the ball well twice. As the next pitch misses for a ball, 1-1. This is kind of a night that works against Stang's power as far as home run ability, because the humidity is a snap throw over to first. Schroeder back and walks right off the bag. That humidity will knock a ball down a little bit, and with no wind, there is no support, so you got to put extra drive into it. It's another snap throw over to first, and Schroeder barely back this time. Tarp Skunks looking to respond after Newark put up 4 in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch fouled back to the screen, 1-2. Stang working out of a jam. Little lob over to first base, and Ferreira checking to see if Schroeder would pop off the bag. He did not.
Schroeder's mind games coming into play.
And Schroeder lucky that he got back to the bag on that one.
Every Tarp Skunks player and fan just held their breath.
The 1-2 pitch. Inside for a ball, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Schroeder leads off first. Stang waits. The pitch swinging. There's a pop up to left field. Heading under it is going to be the left fielder Russo. And for the 3rd time tonight, Bobby Stang ends the inning on a long fly out to left field. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 8-3 Newark. Make your plans today to join us as Niagara Falls comes into town on Friday. It's going to be $2 hot dog night. You're not going to want to miss that. Load up on some delicious hot dogs that they serve down at the concession stand. Presented by Salins. Not going to want to miss that. Plus Elmira at the doubleheader, 2 and 5:30 on Sunday. Niagara Falls back here on Tuesday for $2 night. You know the spiel. And, of course, the special nights that we have coming up, First Responders Night and the Breast Cancer Night, as Saxonmeyer continues. And his first pitch misses for a ball, 1-0.
Saxonmeyer staying in for his second inning of work, facing Zena, Russo, and Haar, the top of the order. But action hot over in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. Saxonmeyer will be on a short leash.
As that one misses for a ball, 2-0. Zena, the only batter for Newark that did not hit back in the 5th inning. 2-0. And that glanced off the hand of Zena. He's not happy about that one. He will take his way onto first base as another hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Grant Russo. First pitch. Inside and behind Juwan all the way to the screen. As advancing to second on the wild pitch is Zena.
And again, this was what we talked about in the very beginning of the game. Saxonmeyer struggled in the 5th inning, and so because of that, he doesn't have the same confidence presence that he needs to have on the mound. So he almost looks smaller and smaller as the innings progress. He needs to find some way to have some sort of confidence boost so that way he can work on it and build from it. It's that way he doesn't get pulled off the mound.
The 1-0 pitch misses outside for a ball, 2-0. Oh, is there fireworks going off in the background?
That's a cool sight.
Yeah. And we're not even providing them tonight. We get extra free fireworks here at the ballpark because that one misses 3-0.
I wonder, can we get a view of that? Can we get a view of those fireworks out there? I'm not 100% certain if our cameras can reach it. Well, they've stopped now, so.
Yep. 3-0 pitch. Taken for a strike, 3-1. Maybe that was a test for tomorrow night.
It's possible. That or someone's home deciding to fire off some of their own.
Which, if you live in the state of New York, you're not allowed to fire off aerial fireworks. It is illegal. And the 3-1 pitch. Taken inside for a ball. And the second walk, or first walk of the inning. Second base runner reaching.
Hayden Givens-Craig continuing his warm-up as Juwan comes out to have a talk with Will Saxonmeyer.
Conference at the mound is over. Man, let me tell you, I love fireworks. Love me some fireworks. One of the things that I used to love doing when I was working shows out in Pell City, Alabama, is right when you get across the Georgia-Alabama border, there's like 7 or 8 fireworks shops. And they all had the good stuff, and it was always buy one, get 2 free. As stepping in is Har for his 4th at bat, first pitch. High for a ball, 1-0. He used to stop by, once a month and, pick up Roman candles and mortars and just all sorts of things that go boom and then take them home back to Georgia. Although I made a mistake the first time I was messing around with mortars, as that pitch is fouled back 1-1.
Almost take your hand off?
No. So went outside during the afternoon because I wanted to test fire one, but I wasn't paying attention on how to put it in. So when I lit it and ran back into the garage, it exploded inside the launcher. Didn't hurt the launcher at all, but it sounded like a gunshot as the runners go. There will be no throw as they advance.
The ball was in the dirt, so Juwan did not have any opportunity.
Quickly, everybody ran out of their house trying to figure out what was going on. And I had to sheepishly apologize for scaring everyone.
My bad.
Well, the worst thing about it was, I think it was that year. It was a month earlier. As the 2-1 pitch is a line drive into right field. Stojanovic has it, makes the catch. Throw into home is going to be offline. Throw down to third is going to go into left field, and everybody's coming home.
An unfortunate turn of events. Tarp Skunks throwing the ball around continuously. Tarp Skunks trying to check and see if someone possibly left early, but neither umpire given headway. Score now 10-3. Ryan Hill going to come out and have a check or have a talk with the home plate umpire.
So that is a sacrifice fly for Har and an RBI and an error on Juwan, allowing Russo to score as the first pitch to Ray Toth is a strike 0-1 the count. As the 0-1 pitch taken for a strike, 0-2.
And Hayden Givens-Craig looks ready. Action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen has halted.
The 0-2 pitch called strike 3.
And that 3-pitch strikeout is huge. Again, looking at the confidence of Will Saxenmeyer, he needs to work off that as best he can. Try and build his confidence as best he can to try and keep that momentum going. You need the strikeouts, you need the ground outs. Just keep finding the zone as best you can.
And the pitch outside for a ball to McGraw. 1-0. McGraw with an RBI single back in the 5th inning. It's also grounded out to third and to second. And the pitch in the dirt. Back behind the backstop, and it's 2-0. So what made the mortar misfire even worse is that a month earlier we had an unfortunate event that ended up on America's Most Wanted, so everyone in the neighborhood was already on edge as the 2-0 bounces in the dirt 3-0. So you want to talk about having to do quick damage control. And Georgia's also like New York. You're not allowed to fire off aerial fireworks, so if they had called the cops, I would have probably had at minimum a fine. As McGraw draws a walk, and that brings up Bryce Knox.
And that is going to do it for Will Saxenmeyer as Ryan Hill comes out and motions to the bullpen. Will Saxenmeyer's time will be over here. 1 2/3 innings of work, 6 runs to his name tonight. A struggle and a half for Will Saxenmeyer. And Hayden Givens-Craig coming in to replace him.
So we will have a pitching change and step away for a quick break. By the way, if you are a sponsor or a potential sponsor and thinking you could sponsor this pitching change, all you have to do is contact us at tarpskunks.com. We'll take a break. New pitcher on the mound is Hayden Givens-Craig. Comes into the game. No record, 2 saves on the season, 1.92 ERA and 18.2 innings pitched. He has given up 10 runs on 20 hits, 4 of those earned, 6 walks, 16 strikeouts. So he is going to have some work ahead of him here as Bryce Knox stepping in with a runner at first, 2 away here. And the first pitch, runner goes. Juan throws down to second. And the tag not in time as Knox takes a pitch for a ball, another stolen base.
And that one a little bit better of a throw by Henry Juwan, as the pitch was a little bit easier for him to make the transfer from glove to hand. So the play was just that much closer.
The 1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 1-1 the count. And I actually talked to Ryan Hill about this, clarifying on the unwritten rule and where he stands and all that. No, he's a 9 and 10 run guy himself, so no one chirping at that stolen base. As that ball is lined to Schroeder, who makes an amazing diving stop at third base to take away extra bases and end the inning. 2 runs come across on 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 10-3 Newark.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Prevention Works and Casa Trinity. Prevention Works in Jamestown, New York provides substance use prevention and social, emotional, learning, and intervention services since 1974. Casa Trinity is dedicated to empowering those on their path to recovery. Hope begins here, and recovery is possible. Both Prevention Works and Casa Trinity are pairing up to educate communities on the dangers of fentanyl that's getting too close to home. 1 pill is enough to kill, especially if it contains fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams to take a life, which equates to the tip of a pencil. Be proactive and protect your loved ones by learning more. Visit dea.gov/1pill if you think someone you know is at risk, or call 716-664-3608. New pitcher on the mound for the Newark Pilots. It's going to be Johnny Hesterman. Johnny Hesterman taking over for Keegan, for Jake Keegan, Keegan with 5 complete innings of work. He's set up for the win currently, with Hesterman taking over for him. Coming up for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks lineup, it's going to be Kobe Jones, Shaniel Maldonado, and DJ Stoyanovich here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here to tell you all about it, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, Maddie, as we are set to go here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Johnny Hesterman, the new pitcher for the Pilots. Just looking at the line here for Jake Keegan. And we'll go ahead and get that here to you. Keegan went 5 innings pitched, 3 runs, ball 3 earned, 3 strikeouts, 6 walks. As Kobe Jones steps in, facing the new tall right-hander, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses for a ball, 1-0. John Hesterman in our chat, I'm assuming that's his father, is a line drive over the head of Ferreira at first into right field. That's a base hit, extra bases as Jones slides into second head first with a leadoff double for the 2nd time in this game.
Yeah, 2 doubles on the day for Kobe Jones. He is having a monstrous day. All you have to do is just build off of that. Let the team build off of that. Maldonado behind him, Stoyanovich behind him. See what Jones did and just work from there. Just pass the torch from one player to the next. You got a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to cover. You only got 4 innings left, and you're down by 7. You need a crooked number here.
So Kobe Jones leading off a second. As Shaniel Maldonado stands in, he swings the first pitch, grounded to short, bobbled by Stead. He eats it at the 6th spot, and Jones to third. And getting on base is Shaniel Maldonado, and they are going to call that an error on Stead. So runners at first and third, nobody out, and that's going to bring up DJ Stoyanovich. Again, Stoyanovich leading the team in RBI on the season with 12.
Definitely need one here as you have the start of the momentum shift only 90 feet away.
And the first pitch fouled off to the right and hits the pole and bounces right back to Cole Tippin in the first base coach's box. So 0-1. Stoyanovich waiting. Maldonado takes a short lead off first. And the pitch. Outside for a ball, 1-1. I'd like to welcome everyone who's watching in and around the Jamestown area and all across the country, nay the world, bringing Tarp Skunks baseball to you as the pitch misses for a ball, hits the dirt. Maldonado is going to advance on the passed ball. And now runners at second and third. Stoyanovich in a 1-2 hole. Umpires taking off the infield fly rule. And the 1-2. Missing low for a ball, 2-2 now. Henry Juan on deck. Three and one, or make that 2-2. Scoreboard has 3-1. I got 2-2. And the pitch fouled back. And it should be 2-2. So Stojanovic stepping in. 2-2 the count. And the pitch. Fouled back again. So Stojanovic just missing the owner's box. So we do it again, 2-2. Runners take their lead off second and third. And the pitch. Foul back again. You want to talk about a battle. This has been a pretty epic one between DJ Stojanovic and Johnny Hesterman. I've lost count how many pitches he's fouled off. It's got to be at least 4 at this point. And again, fouled off again.
Deja vu. It's just deja vu every single time. He takes a foul, walks around the plate. Takes a foul, walks around the plate.
Fans over on the right field concourse getting inundated with souvenirs. There's your Scrabble word of the day. And the pitch. Fouled off yet again.
And he's just running out of baseballs. This might be a record number of baseballs that Stojanovic and Hesterman have lost throughout the course of this at-bat alone.
So Stojanovic really making Hesterman work. This has to be the 11th or 12th pitch of the at-bat. And the pitch. Line drive up the middle, base hit. That's going to score Jones. Maldonado rounding third. He will score. And so DJ Stojanovic, the team leader in RBI, comes up clutch when the Skunks needed him most. A 2-run single, and it's 10-5.
You want to talk about a QAB. That's all that Stojanovic had throughout the entirety of that. Just foul after foul after foul. Knew that those pitches were close, but he knew he couldn't do anything with them, so he just continued to foul them off again and again and again, worked the count as best he could, found a pitch he liked, and just took it straight up the middle. C&I single for 2 RBIs.
As Aiden Wallace steps in, the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. Or make that Henry Juan. Oh, I see what I did there. That's the danger of when you have to switch from the pencil to the pen.
Next thing you know, you make mistakes.
Yep. It's not my fault, though. My mechanical pen jammed on me. Boo. So Stojanovic off first. Wallace stands in. As the 2-0 pitch misses 3-0 now to Henry Juan. Got to stop doing that. Juan is hitting. Aiden Wallace would be next. So now the 3-0 pitch. Taken for ball 4. Henry Juan thought it was a strike and just kind of waited for a minute there.
I don't know if he thought it was a strike or if he thought that that was ball 3. I think he might have forgotten what the count was.
As Aiden Wallace now steps in. He's got runners at first and second situation happening here. Wallace has walked twice in this game. It's the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
Wallace did square to bunt. Not a bad idea, but now the Pilots are playing for it. Both first and third are in on the grass, with first base crashing in almost like an Anthony Rizzo.
As that one is fouled off to the left or to the right and joins the family of baseballs that are huddling on the grass outside of the stadium.
That were all put there by DJ Stoyanovich.
Yep. 1-1 the count. Saw something in the Post Journal. Squared a bunt in that pitch high and tight for a ball, 2-1. That there's a couple that always hangs out in the stadium, at the stadium, but on the other side, outside of it, and collects all the foul balls.
Yep.
And gives them to kids so they can get autographs after the game. That is the coolest thing I have ever heard.
They're out there every single game without fail.
Line drive past the diving shortstop Stead, and a base hit. Rounding third, heading toward the plate, and scoring is Stoyanovich. Aiden Wallace with an RBI single, and it's 10-6.
And again, another good piece of hitting by Aiden Wallace. You know, as I said, it's past the torch. And that is how many straight that have gotten on base? 5 straight? 5 straight, 3 of them scoring. That is what you need to do time and time and time again. And just continue to pass the torch. This is the momentum shift that you needed. You've had 3 straight runs score over the past couple of at-bats. Just continue to pass this torch. Learn this pitcher. Keep it going. Keep the bats aggressive. Let them come alive. You can whittle this down. You've come back from larger leads in the past. This is nothing to you. Continue the no quit.
As the umpire goes to break up the conference at the mound, Maddie, do you know what we have going on here?
Beer inning.
We got a BEERUN beer run going on here as Brandon McLean Banks stepping in. And it seems like the theme of this inning has been skunks with runners at first and second or second and third. Got 2 skunks in the forest right now, leading off first and second. Henry Juwan at second, Aiden Wallace at first.
The Pilots are preparing for the bunt. The corners are in on the grass again.
And the pitch. Swinging. There's a line drive down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Rounding third and heading to the plate is Juwan. Rounding third and heading to the plate is Aiden Wallace. The throw to the plate, not in time. And Brandon McLean Banks with a 2-run double. It is now 10-8.
That was huge, but it was an extreme risk by Coach Ryan Hill. By the time that Aiden Wallace had rounded third base, the ball was in the glove of the shortstop Stead. The ball was already thrown in by Russo. I have to correct you a little bit. The throw was in time, but the throw was so wild that the catcher Noraki couldn't make the stop. It bounced out of his glove, allowing Wallace to tiptoe into score, and now there's only a 2-run lead.
As Harpalani hits one out to right, caught by Knox, and tagging and making it to third base is Brandon McLean Banks. So a sacrifice for Harpalani moves Banks over to third with only 1 out, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Leo Doyle.
And there is some action over in the Pilots bullpen. Beginning his warm-up is Mason Haar. So the leash tightening on Hesterman.
And Doyle standing in. The first pitch, there's a ground ball to third, stopped by Toth. He will throw out Doyle. 5-3. He might have had a shot to get McLean Banks at home. I think he might have forgotten how many outs there were as McLean Banks scores.
And now the score is 10-9. And just like that, this is a brand new ball game. Like I said, continue to pass that torch back and forth, next person up every single time. And now this is only a 1-run ball game with still a third of the game to play.
As Tommy Schroeder stands in, takes a ball on the outside, 1-0 the count. The 1-0. That's taken high for a ball, 2-0. So just like the Skunks had a speed bump with Saxonmeyer. The Pilots running into a bit of a speed bump here with Johnny Hesterman, as that's a line drive foul down the third base line. I don't know how much longer I can hold my thumbs up for Tommy Schroeder. It's kind of become a thing here. 2-1. And the pitch. There's a little ground ball to second. Zena has it, throws on to first, and the side is retired. But what an inning it was for the Tarp Skunks. 6 runs on 4 base hits. We head to the top of the 7th inning. It is 10-9 Newark. Make your plans to join us here at the ballpark Thursday, July 11th, as the Geneva Red Wings come into town. It's our final buyout night of the 2024 season. It's also First Responders Night, presented by Live CHQ. You're not going to want to miss that. Come on out for the final buyout night and support your Tarp Skunks, as well as the 20th of July, a Saturday, Geneva back in town. This time, it is the breast cancer game. You can register to win a game-worn pink Jamestown Tarp Skunks jersey, $20 per entry, and all proceeds go to local breast cancer research, which is a big, big one for me. As we head now to the top of the 7th inning, it's going to be Stead, Ferreira, and Naraki facing Hayden Givens-Craig. And here to tell you all about it, it's Matty G.
Thank you, Dre Guinness. Now, once again, you got the opportunity to show me up. Your called run average is about to take a massive jump as you had yet another 5+ run inning you got to call. So envy filling my brain right now, but we got to look past it. First pitch from Hayden Givens-Craig is low and away for ball 1-2. Jack Stead.
You know, maybe one of these days I'll get MVS.
No. The 1-0. Called strike 1 on the outside corner.
I mean, it's worth a thought.
Givens-Craig. The 1-1 rock and fire. Ground ball foul into the Tarp Skunks dugout. 1-2.
Givens-Craig looking to get the Skunks off the field as quickly as possible and get those hot bats back to the plate.
Stead so far 1 for 3 on the day. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Fielded by Schroeder. The throw goes past Bobby Stang as the throw was wide by Schroeder. A throwing error credited to Schroeder. Luckily, the catcher able to come on over and make the quick stop.
Yeah, Henry Juan having to run a long way.
And I will mention something. That is no longer Henry Juan
Nope, that is
at the
Noah
dish.
Brooks.
Noah Brooks is behind the dish now. I should have recognized it by the green gear. I don't know why I didn't notice it sooner. As the first pitch lined into left field, and that's going to drop in front of Jones for a base hit. So 2 straight runners aboard off of Hayden Givens-Craig. And now it's runners on first and second, nobody out. And that brings up Naraki, the catcher.
Can imagine not what Hayden Givens-Craig imagined he was going to have to deal with here in his first full inning of work.
So Naraki steps in. Currently 0 for 1 on the day, 2 hit by pitches and a strikeout. His first pitch squares to bunt over the plate for strike 1. And, you know, these bunt coverages kind of scare me a little bit. as Bobby Stang was halfway to home plate, over halfway to home plate, by the time the ball crossed the plate. So we'll play en route. Squares to bunt again. This time he does go around at the pitch in the dirt, and the count is 0-2. Naraki will not be bunting anymore. Not if he's wise, that is.
I don't think it's really up to him. It's what the coach calls, but I don't think they're calling 3 straight bunt attempts.
Especially not with 2 strikes. As the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And Naraki having a couple words with the home plate umpire. Just like a friendly check-in. But that will bring up Grant Hunter with 1 away. Setting up a possible inning-ending double play. That would be absolutely huge for the Skunks here going into the 7th inning stretch.
Hunter has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and doubled back in the 3rd inning.
His first pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Noah Brooks.
And I like Givens Craig approach here, attacking the zone with the fastball. Even though he's given up a hit, trusting the defense.
The 1-0. Line down the left field line, just foul. Counts 1-1 to Grant Hunter. Givens Craig has a sign he likes. Checks the runner on second, and the pitch. Bounces off of Brooks. The runner will try to go to third. It will bounce off of Brooks's hand as he tried to field it barehanded, but both runners will advance on the passed ball. Count goes to 2-1, but that takes away the double play as the force is taken away.
In this case, the force is not with you.
Everyone playing on the grass now. The 2-1 pitch, high and away for ball 3. Every player playing on the grass, their main focus is the runner on third, Jack Stead. Their primary goal is to knock him out at the plate. Givens Craig comes set, the 3-1 pitch. Lined into left field, and that is going to allow Jack Stead to score. Ferreira will halt at third, but Stead coming across makes it 11-9. If McLean Banks was playing back, he could have possibly had a shot at where that ball landed, maybe like a jumping grab. But unfortunately, with the strategy that they had, it was just over his head, and it was too late. But that'll bring up the top of the order in Dominic Zena. His first pitch, low and away for ball 1.
Zena's had an adventurous day at the plate. 2-run single back in the 3rd, struck out looking twice, and also hit by a pitch.
Pickoff attempt over to first, not in time. Come set, the 1-0 pitch. Calls strike 1 over the heart of the plate at the knees. So 1-1, 1 out. Ferreira on third, Hunter on first. That pitch fouled back, and the count's 1-2.
I should buy a house down here just so I can collect all the baseballs on my way home.
Yeah, and have your glass break in the process.
That's why you have insurance.
The 1-2, runner goes. The pitch low for a ball. The throwdown will not happen. And the count goes to 2-2.
And that was smart by Noah Brooks now playing catcher. Reached back and cocked his arm like he was going to throw, but had his eyes on third. In case they were trying to pull the double steal.
Counts 2-2. The pitch from Craig. Low and away. Curveball just missing the bottom of the zone. And Zena has worked the count full.
It was a good frame job by Brooks, just a little too far outside.
The payoff pitch. Ground ball foul down the third base side.
I think catchers are probably the greatest salesmen on the baseball diamond. Because they're always lobbying, always trying to sell the home plate umpire on the frame jobs.
Agreed. The 3-2 ground ball foul again. Same place.
Zena tomahawking on that ball. Instead of trying to drive the ball, tried to hit it on the ground toward the infield because that would score another run.
Givens Craig. Trying to find his pitch. Now he's got it. The next 3-2. Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. But in all honesty, I like this situation a little bit better than what it was previously when Zena was at the plate. You would much rather have bases loaded, 1 out, compared to second and third, 1 out, because that would set up an inning-ending double play anywhere. Step on third, throw to first, 6-4-3, 4-6-3, home to first, whatever the case. As the first pitch to Grant Russo in there for strike 1. If you can set up that inning-ending double play, get out of this with minimal damage, just go to work, do what you can do best, and go put some more lumber on the baseball on offense. Next pitch, lined over to short, caught by Brandon McLean Banks. The throw over to second and Harpalani. It is a 6-4 double play. And what was I talking about before? Double play ends the inning, minimal damage. 1 run on 2 hits. The bases, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time. 11-9 Pilots.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plidler Entry System, the Davies Investment Group, and Prevention Works in Casa Trinity. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping this and every live stream of the 2024 season be possible. We also encourage all businesses and organizations serving residents in Jamestown and Chautauqua County to consider becoming a Tarp Skunks live stream sponsor for this season or future seasons by calling us at 716-705-5600, emailing us at contactus@tarpskunks.net, or use the contact form on our website, tarpskunks.com. All sponsors are recognized during each home game, during our live stream broadcast, and also by our public address announcer. Thank you to our current sponsors and also to anyone else considering becoming a future sponsor of Tarp Skunks Baseball. As new pitcher for the Newark Pilots coming in, it's going to be Mason Haar, moving out of the designated hitter role and stepping up to the mound. We'll see if he remains hitting. Hart will face looks like Stang, Jones, and Maldonado. And that is exactly what's going to happen. And here to tell you about the bottom of the 7th inning, it's Matty G.
Thank you, Mr. Guinness. Now, scenario, you just put up 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Be relentless. Do not let that strategy alter in the slightest. Just because there's a new pitcher doesn't mean that you can't do just that. As the first pitch to Bobby Stang from Mason Haar will be lined into right field, and that is going to drop for a base hit. Bobby Stang with a leadoff base hit, and that is exactly what I was talking about. Get on base, put contact on the ball. You're not trying to kill it. Single after single will do just enough to allow yourself to close that gap. You're only down by 2. That's exactly what you need as Kobe Jones steps up to the plate.
That was a good piece of hitting for Stang. Stayed back a little extra, let the ball get deeper in the zone, was able to drive it out to right field, changing the approach from trying to clear the fence in left field, getting himself on.
Doesn't that continue his hitting streak?
No, it broke against Batavia.
Oh, no. As first pitch to Kobe Jones, way high for ball 1.
I'll have to verify that, but I do believe it ended in Batavia.
The 1-0 pitch. Bounced off the plate, swinging bunt, pick up by Haar. The throw gets by him and down the right field line. Staying around third, they're waving him home. The throw will not come there. The throw will go to third as Kobe Jones trots into third. It is a RBI single as well as an error, a throwing error by Mason Haar allows Bobby Stang to score, and there is only a 1-run ball game. It's 11-10.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because if you ever needed a gift at the most opportune time, that was it.
So scores 11-10 with the tying run 90 feet away. The infield will begin to play on the grass. First pitch to Shaniel Maldonado. Low and away for ball 1.
So no RBI for Jones. It will be a single. Stang scored on the error.
That is the 6th error in total today by both teams. The 1-0 pitch. Lined foul.
3 apiece. 11, 9, and 3 for the Pilots. 10, 8, and 3 for the Skunks.
Counts 1-1. Jones off third. The pitch from Haar. High for ball 2.
DJ Stoyanovich on deck.
Haar, the delivery. Low and away for ball 3. Maldonado in the driver's seat. 3-1, nobody out. Kobe Jones off of third. He represents the tying run.
Infield playing in for the Pilots. We'll see if this bites them like it did for Jamestown.
The 3-1 pitch. Fouled back to the backstop. And the count is full.
Shaniel Maldonado is not thinking lazy sack fly to left. He's thinking 2-run jack.
Three-two. The payoff pitch. Lined foul towards the Pilots' bullpen.
Good stay alive swing there off the end of the bat.
Maldonado taking a couple of pages out of Stojanovich's book, fouling off, staying alive, and finding your own pitch. The next 3-2. Lined foul back to the backstop again.
You know, Stoyanovich might be an early favorite for MVS just because of that at bat.
I mean, it's not really early at this point. We got to be thinking about it, considering it is bottom 7. We are in the final third of the game. Haar Comes set. Checks the runner. And the 3-2. Sword swing on the curveball sends Maldonado down on strikes. But nothing harm done yet, as there is only one away. And that'll bring up, speak of the devil, DJ Stoyanovich.
Stoyanovich, who came into this game leading the Tarp Skunks with 12 RBI on the season, now up to 14 with a 2-run single back in the 6th.
Has an opportunity to make it 15 with a ball in the outfield.
Infield continues to play extremely in. Outfield's playing pretty shallow.
First pitch to Stoyanovich. Swing and a miss.
Challenge fastball, challenge accepted. And Horror wins round 1.
Har comes set. Stoyanovich ready to go. Jones off third. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at the pitch in the dirt. And Stoyanovich with a very different scenario from what he had last at bat, working the count to 3-2, having foul after foul, can't make any connections on the first 2 pitches, and he is way behind 0-2.
Have to protect, select and protect. That's where he's at right now.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss yet again. 3 pitches, 3 swings and misses, and Stoyanovich is down on strikes, and that makes it 2 away. And that'll bring up Noah Brooks. Noah Brooks taking the spot of Henry Juwan.
Our PA announcer didn't get the memo. It's not Jeremy Becker tonight. It's a fill-in, so we'll give him a pass.
First pitch to Brooks. Way high and out. 1-0.
And that was a severe case of overthrowing that pitch.
Har shakes off a pitch. Time is called. And looks like Naraki is going to come out and have a conversation. I don't think Har has the ability to see the pitches called in between the legs of Naraki.
Might be trying to figure out location. This is Brooks' first at bat.
So we'll see if they make any changes. Now he's got the pitch he likes. Comes set. The 1-0. Over the heart of the plate. Makes the count 1-1. The 1-1. Swing at a pitch in the dirt, but the ball gets by Naraki, and that will allow Kobe Jones to score on the swing and a miss by Noah Brooks. This game is now tied 11 apiece.
We talked on Monday about the game being one of the coolest things we've ever seen. That carried over and lasted until tonight. This has been one of the coolest games I've ever seen, as weird as it has been.
Very offensive-oriented as the 1-2 to Noah Brooks. Ground ball towards short, gets by the diving Stead and into left field for a 2-out hit. So no matter what would have happened, even if that ball didn't get by Naraki, that hit would have allowed Kobe Jones to score. But this inning remains alive. Aiden Wallace to the dish now.
Brand new ball game, and when you look at the scoreboard, it's identical. 11-9-3.
11 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for both teams. Obviously, they came in different scenarios, as the first pitch to Aiden Wallace. High for ball one. Brooks off of first. The 1-0. Fouled back to the backstop. 1-1.
Wallace has been on base all 3 times he has come to the plate. Walked twice, base hit his last time up, and scored twice.
Checks the runner. The 1-1 delivery from Har. Curveball inside and low makes the count 2-1.
If you tuned out of this game in the 5th inning and you're just joining us back just to see what's going on, don't do that again.
You missed a lot as the curveball misses high, and the count is 3-1 to Aiden Wallace. Wallace firmly in the driver's seat, sitting dead red.
As the bug invasion has begun the press box.
Need to get some off spray.
Oh, we need to get one of those.
As that pitch hits the inside corner for a strike. Count has begun. The count is now full. So Noah Brooks will be attempting to advance on this pitch. Three-two, 2 out. The payoff pitch, runner goes. The pitch in the dirt for ball 4. So the steal attempt does not matter as Aiden Wallace is aboard for Brandon McLean Banks to the plate now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just got a text on my phone. Sorry for tuning out. Don't do that again.
Got a little wag of the finger, the little shame, I know your name to those that tuned out. Brandon McLean Banks to the plate now. Runners on first and second. The pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Naraki. Counts 1-0.
You ever see Jurassic Park?
Bits and pieces. Jurassic Park was never really my style, I will acknowledge.
Well, there's a part in the original one where a computer virus comes up and the guy's like, that's what we need if you're going to tune out.
Exactly. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
The 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for strike one.
A generous call there. Jurassic Park, I mean, as a franchise, look, Jurassic Park, man recreates dinosaur. Dinosaur eat people, people scream.
Yeah, it's a formula that work every time. That pitch on the inside corner this time, count is 1-2.
Right, for the first one. But the second one, man recreates dinosaur, dinosaur eats people, people scream. The third one, man creates dinosaur, dinosaurs eat people, people scream. Jurassic World. Dinosaurs recreated by humans. Humans haven't figured it out. By that point, I'm done.
Pretty much. The 1-2. Lined foul down the third base line. If that had stayed fair, that could have scored Noah Brooks to take the lead. But the count remains 1-2.
I know who my MVS is tonight. I'm not going to tell you. Because it is going to be beyond epic.
Who leads off this one, you or me?
You.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Brandon McLean Banks calls time. Resets. Har ready to go. Brooks off second. Wallace off first. Checks the runner. The 1-2 delivery. Check swing. Did he go? The answer is no. And McLean Banks stays alive. 2-2 the count.
Definitely dodged a bullet there as a couple of the players started to walk off the field. Naraki trying to sell it.
as someone in the Tarp Skunks dugout decided to just start screaming bloody murder for no apparent reason.
How much you want to bet it's Schroeder?
Possibly. The 2-2. Ground ball just foul on the foul side of the third base line. And McLean Banks staying alive yet again.
The crazy thing about this game is that we're only in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And there have been 22 runs scored in total.
This is definitely my kind of ball game.
2-2, 2 out. Time is called. As the Bemis Point mayor joining us in the chat, Jeff Molnar, thank you so much for joining us. He did make a stop up in the booth at one point.
I apologize I didn't get the chance to say hello to him.
We were a little busy. The 2-2. Called a ball, the curveball just on the outside corner. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just as stunned as Har was. From my angle, I thought that was strike 3.
And I think Brandon McLean Banks thought so too, because he turned around and was shaking his head, but get the fortunate call.
So he earns himself a payoff pitch.
Runners will be going.
And here it is. Runners go. Swing and a miss. And McLean Banks down on strikes. But not before the game does end up getting tied up. 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 runners left on base. We're going to go to the top of the 8th inning. It could basically be 0-0, but the game is tied. 11-11.
I think we're going to institute a new rule here for the Timbits game. This is just me throwing out ideas, but when they go to Tim's and they get the Timbits and everything, the announcers could use a box of donuts. Angel cream filled ones are good. The honey crullers, we'll just throw that out there.
I prefer the blueberry ones myself.
I've never been a big blueberry fan, but
I will say, though, the blueberry donuts at Tim Hortons, whoa, those are game changer.
all right, now I got to try one.
The blueberry as well as the birthday cake.
Oh, nice. So Bemis Mayor Jeff Molnar says he will be back Tuesday night. His company is sponsoring that game, and you are not going to want to miss $2 night coming up on Tuesday, July 9th, as the Niagara Falls Americans come into town. $2 night means $2 beer, $2 bleacher tickets, $2 beer, $2 hot dogs, $2 beer, and
$2 beer.
there you go. As Har steps into the plate, he is facing Hayden Givens-Craig, and Matty G is going to tell you all about it.
All right, so the pitcher will remain in the batting lineup. His first pitch, did he go around? The answer is no. Counts 1-0.
We were talking, with these bugs coming in, you were saying off. I think, it would be nice to have one of those zappers hanging right in the middle of the window.
As that pitch grounded over towards third, foul.
Maybe we can customize it up, put some of those LED lights around here, and maybe some hanging beads from the window. Yeah, I know, I'm getting into my 70s trip again. At least I didn't suggest the tie-dye, wall hanging.
Yeah, we need the peace sign, man. The 1-0 pitch from Hayden Givens-Craig, man, is over the heart of the plate for strike 2, man.
as I am being joined in the booth by Tommy Chong. That is not where I was going with that.
So 1-2 the count. The pitch from Craig. Just low. Counts 2-2. For my days in umpiring, I will acknowledge that the low pitches at the knees are always the hardest to call, as you can't really get down that low in order to make the call. The 2-2. That one called strike 3. Mason Haar got caught looking and window shopping, but didn't find anything he liked. He's down on strikes, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ray Toth.
Yeah, Har is taking the number 9 train all the way to Nopesville.
Hey, see, I told you could use it again.
There we go. It's been a while.
First pitch to Ray, bunt down the third base line. Coming in is Schroeder, tried to barehand it, but it bounces off of his wrist. Schroeder tried to play it a little bit risky. Could have fielded that with his glove, but decided to field it with his bare hand, and it bounced off his wrist. So it is an infield single for Ray Toth.
Tough play for Schroeder, and even if he had got it with the glove in the transition, the speed might have been a little bit too much. So going to the bare hand, I love the aggressiveness.
The first pitch, check swing, foul by Keenan McGraw.
Guess you could say he bounced that check.
Is that a Keith? Is that a song reference?
No, that's an actual thing. You're that young, you don't know what a checkbook is?
Oh, I know what a checkbook is.
Yeah.
Is that pitch way high, 1-1?
I was going to say if you didn't, then, my heart weeps for America. Of course, they don't use checkbooks anymore, so, what am I
Hey,
talking
I'd
about?
have a checkbook. The 1-1, low and away, 2-1.
I don't remember the last check that I wrote.
Mine had to have been about a year ago. Snap throw over to first, nothing doing there. Just a little note saying, hey, Ray, I see you over there.
Don't go anywhere, Ray.
The 2-1 pitch, swing and a whiff. And McGraw swung at that pitch so hard that one of his hands slipped off the bat on the backswing.
That reminds me of an interesting stat that I looked up the other day. Henry Juan has a stat that I have been unable to find in Baseball Reference.
The 2-2. Ground ball towards third, fair, fielded by Schroeder. Learned his lesson and fielded it with his bare hand. The throw in time for out number 2. Schroeder learning his lesson, couldn't field that ball with a bare hand, so he decided to field it with his glove, played it safe, and safety can come in handy. Safety comes first, and there are 2 away. And that'll bring up Bryce Knox. So what's the stat that Juwan had?
He is, from what I can tell, might be the first player in baseball to have thrown out 2 runners at second base and lost the bat on a swing twice in the same game.
I didn't realize that was an actual stat they kept track of.
Yeah, I had to go look because I was watching that game back the other day when he lost the bat twice.
The 0-1 in the dirt counts 1-1. While Dre was talking about that stat, there was a pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. So the count's 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, Baseball Reference has a bunch of out there
weird
stats and records.
Stats.
That one I could not find anything, so I am officially saying he's the first in baseball history.
That pitch swung on and missed, and the count's 1-2. This out crucial for the Tarp Skunks, wanting to get back into the dugout, keep this game tied. Going into the bottom of the 8th. 1-2, 2 out. Ray Toth off second. The pitch in the dirt, bounced in front of the plate. Good stop by Noah Brooks. keeping Ray Toth at second. The count's 2-2.
Noah Brooks showing the same athleticism as Henry Juan from earlier in the game.
We'll have to find out why Juan left the game. Hopefully it wasn't for injury purposes. The 2-2 pitch. Lined over towards short, fielded by McLean Banks. The throw to first in time, and the side is retired. No runs on one hit, one runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The score remains tied at 11 apiece.
Or 2 free tickets to the Tarp Skunks game of his choice. Would you rather have the box or the tickets? Are you sure you want the mystery box? There could be nothing in it. Or you could
These two teams will face off against tomorrow, this time at Newark. Game will be available on YouTube on the Newark Pilots channel. We're back in Diethrick Park on Friday for $2 hot dog night as the Niagara Falls Americans come into town for the first of 2 over a 5-day stretch. Elmira at Elmira on the 6th, and then the Pioneers back here at Diethrick Park for the doubleheader on Sunday, July 7th. July 9th, $2 night. We've already gone over all of the benefits. I'm not going to do it again.
I was going to say, yeah, $2 beer. Moving on.
Yeah. Geneva comes into town for our final buyout game of the season on July 9th, presented by Live CHQ. It is First Responders Night. Come on out. Thank the first responders. Get yourself a free seat here at the ballpark and cheer on the Tarp Skunks. As Har continues to pitch, he will face the top of the order, Harpalani, Doyle, and Schroeder. And Matty G, this is your chance to tie me up for the game at 6 runs apiece.
All right, here we go. So I've called 5 runs. Dre's called 6. Time to see if I can tie this up with the Tarp Skunks taking the lead. First pitch from Har to Harpalani is high and tight for ball 1. And again, don't let up. You've scored 8 runs over the past 2 innings. Just keep that torch. Pass it along.
And I'll tell you, I'm not selfish.
The 1-0 lined up the middle. Seeing high single for Eli Harpalani. And the go-ahead run is on first base.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not what's the word I used?
Salty?
No,
Upset?
not salty. I'm not selfish. I actually hope that you get that 6th run.
Well, not only because you have such a large lead on me right now, so you don't have anything to worry about.
I would like to call a quick 9th inning 1, 2, 3 and done.
So Harpalani off of first, Leo Doyle to the plate. His first pitch, squares to bunt, pulls back. The pitch called a ball, bounces out of the glove of Naraki.
And I think Harpalani froze. He could have advanced to second on that one. But I think just froze up a little bit, not trying to risk it.
Doyle only seen the base path once so far today. Checks Harpalani at first. The pitch from Har. Low in the dirt. 2-0 the count.
And this is getting into the point where you have to be what I like to call selectively aggressive. You have to wait for your shot, but when it comes, you have to go for it.
The 2-0 bounces in front of the plate. And the count's 3-0. If you're Ryan Hill, do you give Doyle the green light on 3-0?
I give him the leeway, yeah. If he sees something fat and juicy, absolutely. If it's questionable, hold it.
The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, and it is a 4-pitch walk for Leo Doyle. First 2 runners up, first 2 runners aboard, and that'll bring up Tommy Schroeder. Tommy Schroeder with 4 RBIs on the season so far. Looking to see if he can add another one to his list and bring the Tarp Skunks in the lead for the first time this game.
He does have 2 RBI already in this game.
Squares the bunt. Pulls back, but the pitch in there for strike 1.
Now, if you go back to the 3rd inning, he had an RBI double, it looks like.
Checks the runner at second. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. And the count quickly 0-2.
This is when Schroeder excels, when his back's against the wall.
So 0-2 the count. Nobody out. Harpelani off second. Doyle off first. Har comes set. Checks Harpelani at second. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Schroeder holding off. Count goes to 1-2. Action over in the Pilots bullpen. As the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball towards third. Through the legs of Toth. Coming around to score is Eli Harpelani. And on the fielding error by Ray Toth, the Tarp Skunks have taken the lead. It is 12-11, coming all the way back to take the lead from a 7-run deficit.
And I got to say, I don't agree with the error call on that one. That was a hard shot that skipped over the glove of Toth at third. If I had the opportunity, I would lobby for that to be changed to a base hit, because that one, I think, was beyond a routine baseball play. But the Pilots going to the bullpen now, as it is
Brendan Staubley.
There we go. Brendan Staubley coming into this game normally as a catcher, but in an emergency situation coming in, and the Skunks with a 1-run lead.
We will step back for just a half a second to let Staubley warm up. Runners at the corners, nobody out. And the Tarp Skunks leading 12-11. So Brendan Staubley taking over for the Newark Pilots as he finishes his last warm-up pitch.
And from what I'm seeing for Staubley, this is his first appearance as a pitcher. As I mentioned, normally appears as a catcher. It's a pretty good hitter, 280 hitter, but we'll see what he has on the mound here. For Bobby Stang.
as he will face Bobby Stang, his first at bat. Bobby Stang, obviously with that power, 1 for 4 on the day so far. 3 flyouts to left and a single to right, as that one is just foul, ripped down the third base line. That easily could have been extra bases if that stayed fair. And now Russo out in left, shading towards the line. The gap in left center is huge, but the gap in right center looks even bigger.
You could put a trailer park out there. Not a trailer, the entire park.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Stang taking a massive hack, but he was out on his front foot on the off-speed pitch. And Staubli working Stang 0-2.
If Stang can drive the ball right to where the pills are on the prevention work sign in center,
Is that pitch in the dirt for ball 1?
he might be able to make it all the way around the bags, because that is just way too much different for distance for these outfielders to cover.
It also depends on how hard he hits it. As you said, the heavy, humid air makes it hard for the ball to travel. The 1-2 pitch fouled off of his elbow, and the count remains the same.
As long as you keep the exit angle around 15 degrees and just barrel it up, that could make it, I think.
Purely speculation, good sir.
Yeah, I'm just making stuff up now. I don't know what the exit angle would be.
1-2 changeup called, strike 3 at the knees. Staubli and Stang talking to one another after the at-bat was finished, but Stang is only the first out of the inning, as that'll bring up Kobe Jones. Kobe Jones has had a monster of a bat so far today, as he's had 2 doubles. He's 3 for 4 so far.
And he's scored 3 times.
As that pitch popped up in the infield, infield fly is called. So Jones is out, and there are 2 away. 3 for 5 is definitely something that you want to hold your head up on, though.
Oh, absolutely.
And that'll bring up Shaniel Maldonado. Maldonado going to try his best to see if they can extend the lead, maybe give Hayden Givens-Craig a little bit of a cushion, give him a little bit of insurance, trying to see if he can get Leo Doyle to score. First pitch from Staubli, over the heart of the plate for strike 1. For those of you that have stuck with us throughout this late night, we thank you. Eventful night as the 0-1 pitch taken in the dirt for 1-1. As obviously the late delayed start from the rain delay at the beginning of the game kind of slowing things down a bit as the time is closing in on 11:15. The 1-1 pitch hit high into center field, going back, and camped underneath it is McGraw for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Tarp Skunks do take the lead. 1 run on 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 9th inning, 3 and a handshake scenario. It's 12-11 Skunks. So as we go to the top of the 9th inning, it is 3 outs and a handshake with the scenario. If there are 3 outs, the Tarp Skunks put another win into their books. It's going to be Stead, Ferreira, and Naraki, 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Newark Pilots, who suddenly find themselves running out of chances. And here to tell you about the 9th inning, it is my man, the myth, the legend, Dre Dennis.
All right, Maddie, thank you very much. As a intense, action-packed game comes down to this, top of the 9th inning, Hayden's giving Craig 3 outs away from locking it down here as the first pitch. Line to Schroeder at third, and he snags it for the first out of the inning.
You want to talk about a hot corner reaction time. He only had about a half a second to react to where that pitch was going, had to drop to his knees, but what a grab by Tommy Schroeder. That easily could have been extra bases if that got by him.
That is the second sparkling, spectacular play by Schroeder here tonight on defense, as that brings up Ferreira. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Ferreira has struck out, hit by a pitch, walked, and singled. So he's had a little bit of a buffet out there on the field as that pitch misses somewhere. And the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball to first. Stang has it. He's going to take it to the bag himself, and quickly there are 2 away.
And you want to talk about the miraculous comeback story. Job ain't done yet. 1 more out still needed. But you look at the beginning of this game, it almost looked hopeless as it was 8-3 at one point in this game.
10-3.
10-3 at one point. You know, coming back from such a massive deficit, and all of a sudden you're sitting with 1 out away from a W.
As the first pitch to Naraki misses for a ball, 1-0. Naraki has been hit by a pitch twice and struck out twice. So adding another K in there would be a full house. That's the kind of full house I'd like to see. As a curveball missing high for a ball, 2-0.
$11 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors for the Newark Pilots. 12 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors for the Tarp Skunks tonight.
The 2-0. On the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls and a strike now to Naraki. And the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. So now Newark down to their final strike. Hayden's Givens Craig in the driver's seats, looking to lock it down, and it is it's a win situation for him. And the pitch. He got him swinging, and that is the ball game. Hayden's Givens Craig blew it by Naraki for the 3rd strikeout of the game, and the Tarp Skunks win this one by a score of 12-11 and improve their record to 10-11.
And what a victory it was. We've been talking about it all throughout the course of these last couple of innings. You were down by 7 at one point. This game looked all but hopeless. You know, as he said, as Nersbatch comes in, says, so glad I didn't step away, was able to watch the live back. Absolutely, a bunch of people stepped away from this game. As we said, down by 7, game looked all but hopeless. But these Tarp Skunks, as we've said, 0 quit throughout the entirety of this game, able to come back from 7 down to take the lead and win. However, if you gotta be nitpicky, you gotta see if the Tarp Skunks can come alive at an earlier point, as that will absolutely be crucial. The win could be so much more dominant if the bats could come alive. As we said, nine runs scored in the final 3 innings, with only 3 runs scored in the first 5 for the Tarp Skunks. If you got to be nitpicky, you got to look at it and say you got to come alive faster than that, so that way you're not giving the Tarp Skunks fans a heart attack.
You know what? I'm going to borrow a line from an old San Francisco Giants saying from their announcers, especially back in 2010, Tarp Skunks baseball, torture. But it's the kind of torture that I will sign up for every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So the Tarp Skunks go to 10-11. Newark drops to 8-15. The win goes to Hayden Givens Craig. The loss goes to Marr. And these 2 teams will do it tomorrow night. But let's take a look at, before we step out of here, at our most valuable Skunks. And Matty G, you're leading us off.
Okay, now you said you had yours selected a few innings ago, kind of making me panic a little bit about who I wanted to select, but I am going to go with Kobe Jones. Kobe Jones going into this game, going 3 for 5 on the day, 2 doubles, a single. I mean, all of them in leadoff scenarios. That is crucial to building the momentum that the Tarp Skunks needed to bring the bats alive, and they just kind of followed suit, and they just kind of followed behind Kobe Jones, saying, if he can do that, why can't I? So I'm going to give it to Kobe Jones tonight.
My most valuable Skunks are going to be the parents of Brady Wright for coming all the way up to Tampa and supporting their son pitching, to getting the start tonight. They are, without a doubt, the true MVSs of the game for me.
That was a throw out of left field, and I'm going to give it to you. Absolutely. They were a great pair. I absolutely love talking to them. I'm sure you had a great time talking to Mr. Wright while he was on the air with us. So I'm with you on that one. I like that pick.
All righty. Well, that is going to do it for us here as the Tarp Skunks. Win this ball game in thrilling fashion by a final score of 12-11. We will be back Friday as the Niagara Falls Americans come into town. You're not going to want to miss that first pitch at 6:30. For our production staff, for Matty G, I'm Dre Guinness saying good night, everybody.